a sack of weed to make things right, and begging goes on. Well, I was raised up beneath the shade of a Virginia pine, and that's home, you know. Big Bufords, body armor and juice and swine feed the ebb and flow, and their pillows, they're not much to talk about, but they fill my juice that flows from a southern bro, and a little bit more white. A fat line on a Tuesday night, a sack of weed to make things right, and begging goes on. I love to see my balance rise, see the love in money signs, imagine the touch of a woman's thighs to test my mother's love. It's funny how it's the little things in life that mean the most, but a sack of weed, a little tweak will turn boss man whole. All I do is scream and cry, my girlfriend lies, this I've come to know. So if you agree, please donate to me for Steve, Damien, and Mo. To a little bag of white, a fat line on a Tuesday night, a sack of weed to make things right, and beggar goes on. I love to see my balance rise, see the love in money signs, imagine the touch of a woman's thighs to test my mother's love.
I raided him one time, just trying to be nice.
Then it abruptly cuts to like a video making fun of him. This is the gambling guy. There's like a little trolling community, and I thought I like it when people make songs about like locales. So I figured I'd play this because I thought it was pretty funny. It took me a second to realize that it was like a parody edit and not like an original song, because I was like, wait a second, the song's about him. I didn't realize that. It's pretty good. So, hello, chat. How are you doing? Today is the 8th, right? Oh no, it's the 9th already. Oh fuck. Another day gone by, chat. I want to give you guys a fair warning because I don't want to enter into this and then at some point people are like, wait a second, why is he not covering this extraordinarily massive topic? There is a thing that is currently unfolding, a current situation, and I didn't have the time to do a deep dive into it, and because of what it's about, it's pretty heavy, so I don't want to like skim through it, get like wrong ideas, and then just be completely incorrect talking about it. So right off the bat, if you're hoping to hear about the gooning shit that's currently infatuated public social media at the current time, that's going to be on Friday, because there's no way I just couldn't sit down and dedicate the hours necessary to look into the tranny pedophile shit currently happening. That's like so massive that even normies are talking about it. So there's sorry to tease you, to those who weren't aware. So you're just gonna have to wait a little bit. There's some other stuff though. By the way, how is my mic? Everyone complained that my mic was too quiet, so I fucked around with my gain and shit. Is this acceptable? Is everyone okay with how I sound today? Yeah. TTD, my neighbor, yeah. We're getting there. We're getting there. Acceptance is at an all-time low. People are getting pretty pissed off. Okay, excellent. Everybody's happy. Wonderful. Okay, so first thing is first, let's get the news hamster out. He's got something to tell you. What's that? What's he gonna tell you? There's gay incest on TikTok. That's right, boys and girls. The boys and girls on TikTok are being exposed to whatever the fuck these creatures are, and they've been doing TikTok shit for a while, but now they've come out as gay and are seriously considering doing OnlyFans content. Let's listen to him announce that he's a big gay.
And I'm a top. I'm never a bottom. I'm a top. You know what I'm saying? I'm like that. For real. You gotta support me because you feel me. I like men. And that's just, it is what it is. I'm a top. But I'm a top at the end of the day. That's just what's going on.
So these guys are like famous already, and now they're going to do porn with each other, and they're actually siblings, which is a bit strange, to say the least. It's kind of interesting. There's a trend that I've noticed, and it's kind of related to the thing I'll be talking about on Friday more, but it does seem like Amazon, or sorry, not Amazon, but Twitch has shifted from being purely like a video game streaming platform to like a way for people to funnel their like young viewing audience into their OnlyFans. Like there's a not insignificant number of people now who stream on Twitch who have like thousands and thousands of followers and live viewers. And then they of course don't advertise the OnlyFans directly on their Twitch. But then if you go to their link tree or to their Twitter, the OnlyFans is in the description. So you're like, oh, I'm following this person. And then you click their social media and then the OnlyFans link is there. That seems to be a thing that's happening not just with Twitch, but with TikTok. It's like just a means to an end of like funneling people to their porn sites. It's very strange. I'm wondering, I'm seeing this in real time happening, and I'm kind of debating in my head how that's going to unfold, because at some point it's going to become too obvious to not become an issue. How is this possible? I mute everything at the beginning of the stream. And just someone asked in chat, the reason, if you go to tip.manny.live, it does not take you to donation alerts anymore. I'm asking people, I'm going to have to shut that down because of the PayPal thing. So I'm asking people at this point to just use Rumble and Odyssey, and I will read those. And over the next 2 days, I hope that I'll be able to work on my chat overlay more and come up with a way to do my own donation alerts, basically. So it's like system independent, because the current setup is just not working. But yeah, very interested in how the OnlyFans thing is going to play out, because it's effectively just like vapid Twitch thoughts and retard homosexuals like this, who are just taking their existing audience and then converting it into like a more successful pornography driven career, and it's going to break. And we'll probably never see the heads roll at Amazon that need to roll, but it will break eventually. I kind of want to, actually, I'm going to skip ahead. Yeah, because there's another kind of tangential thought related to this. Someone posted a message on my Odyssey and said, Josh, I do not have even a single dollar due to my name. I cannot super chat you the required flesh that you need to watch my video, but I beseech you to maybe check out this video. And I did. Magnanimous as I clicked his YouTube link and I watched it. And lo and behold, I feel it necessary to talk about this. You may remember a woman who did a video 12 years ago talking about how to massage her possum. Now, that's not an algorithm. She literally massages a possum and explains how to massage your possum with your opossum's natural chi. Exactly. You don't want to fuck up your possum's chi. That shit's not good. So she explains how to massage your possum, not just to relax your possum, make your possum happy, but also maintain good chi and good energy with your possum. So very informative video. It has like 1 million views. It became a meme. It's been chopped up and reposted in 1 million different places for the last 12 years because it's so bizarre. This woman has actually continued her career in possum edutainment videos, where she has done a series for literally 12 years explaining how to take care of possums with various clickbait titles. I'm pretty sure she leans into the weirdness factor, because one of her videos is about possum and aliens or some shit. So it's like she leans into it. She thinks it's funny. It's okay. This woman has released a video 2 months ago featuring somebody I recognize from years ago. So the video itself is old, and she's only just recently found it necessary to post it, found it interesting to post it without any kind of fanfare. It's only gotten a couple thousand views. So it's just out there, and it makes me wonder why this exists and why she's just now decided to post it. This is the Possum Lady with Dylan Mulvaney. This is on her channel. It's just called Dylan Mulvaney, And I think this name of this video changed in the day that I just opened it, because I'm pretty sure it was like Possums with Dylan or something, not Dylan Mulvaney, but now it's just called Dylan. So I will show you this. It literally says Dylan Mulvaney. There he is. This is her official channel, the Possum Lady. And for whatever reason, she's just massaging a possum with Dylan there, also dressed up as a possum. So I am wondering, and he's acting weird. I'm wondering, is this like the humiliation ritual? Like, first of all, they ease you into it. They don't just go straight for, you got to fuck a kid on Jeffrey Epstein's island before we let you be famous. We let you achieve all your dreams of being LA and New York City famous. First, we start you off with the little stuff. We get you to act like a possum in this woman's YouTube video. Maybe you do a Pizza Hut advertisement. And then if we like you and we think that we can work with you, you do more and more stuff until they get you, balls deep in something that you shouldn't be balls deep in. And they get that on camera and they're like, okay, now you can be the official spokesperson for transgenders across the country. It is interesting because here we have this person who now is effectively one of the most famous transgenders in the entire world. And this doesn't look too old. It's like maybe 2 years ago that Dylan Mulvaney was starring in a Possum Woman's Possum video. It's just fascinating. It's a little bit weird. So congratulations, Dylan, on your success. I hope it was worth it. Okay, everything I say is falling into place, chat. My 1 million IQ takes are being proven in real time. I was pontificating that it feels like Disney, as part of their master plan, of having no master plan, is just the executives, the board of directors who have taken over the company, bankrupting Disney to enrich themselves as much as possible. So what they're doing, I feel, is that they're not trying to actually make money anymore. They're simply taking the existing successful, we'll call them real American franchises. You got real American and real European properties and IPs and things that have real value because they were made by real people for the purposes of actually entertaining audiences and bringing joy to children. And these new board of directors have no reverence for these real people. And they are just trying to take them, because now that they've seized them through corporate takeover and becoming the board of directors, they have no reverence for these things. They may even hate them. And as a result, what they're just trying to do is line their pockets up with as much money as possible so that they can maybe do something like funnel it into real estate and gold and very slowly prepare themselves for a collapse of society, which they see is coming, by taking existing things that have value and just absolutely raping them with utter reckless disregard for what happens as a result, because they won't be around to actually take responsibility for the company when it collapses. So I feel this is very true with Disney in particular. And then with Microsoft, you're seeing this thing where they either, like, again, through reckless disregard or just out of total avarice, they had made serious changes to the EULA from Minecraft. And they've been trying to do this for years now, where, like, even in player ran servers, every chat message sent is ran through like a Microsoft N-word filter, and you can't turn it off. Unless you're like on a LAN or something, you have the internet disconnected. So they have the Microsoft N-word filter for Minecraft that they had for a while. And then they started adding more EULAs where you couldn't have guns or something in Minecraft, I guess because of the in Minecraft joke. And now that they feel so threatened by the Minecraft name being like a public concept that people use as a joke now, they're really strictly cracking down on the use of the name Minecraft. So if you want to go on YouTube right now and you want to go, my first Minecraft Let's Play smiley face, you're actually now breaking Minecraft EULA. They explicitly say that you're not allowed to use Minecraft in any sort of title or name for any of your sites. So if you want to make a website called like myminecraftapp.com, you can't do that. That's a trademark violation, as far as that's how Microsoft will perceive it. They say that you must explicitly say, not an official Minecraft product service event, not approved or associated with Mojang or Microsoft, on any product listing, description, website, webpage, and all other related materials. So anything not specifically owned by Microsoft related to Minecraft in any way cannot have the name Minecraft in it at all. and then must further elaborate that it's not associated with Microsoft. So something's happened, and they're trying. What they're trying to do is take a game. I think that was released in 2008, and is one of the most successful video game properties in the history of the planet. And unfortunately for Microsoft, it was released as a single player game. It was released in a state where a player downloads an executable, clicks it twice, it opens on their computer, and they can actually network with other players and play online without the permission of any company, any service provider, anybody on the face of the fucking planet. As long as two kids online had an internet connection, they were able to play a video game together and have fun. That is not acceptable. That is literally the diametric opposition to what the globo homo top-down control of society wants for people. So now you boot up Minecraft, you go to the Mojang launcher, and then you type in your username and password. And then you go to the official curated Minecraft server list. And every server there is explicitly vetted for every single part of the EULA. And if you don't do something that Mojang likes, well, they just take you off the server list. And then you connect. And then everything that you say and do is fed through a Microsoft monitored machine learning program to make sure that what you say is acceptable to the EULA. And if you say anything that they don't like, then you're banned and you can't play with your friend on the internet anymore because you said a naughty word. And while nobody was actually around to hear it, Microsoft did, because they monitor everything that you say, and they didn't like that you said that on their computer systems, which they now control obligatorily. It's absolutely disgusting. I hate these companies more than life itself. I really, really hope that in my lifetime I see a day where people get fed up with these fucking blood-sucking parasites and they put an end to it, because the fact that this is just now, this is when I was a kid, almost every game on the internet was like Minecraft. You had Blockland was like Minecraft. You could LAN it. You had Minecraft came out after Blockland. You could also LAN it. There was Diablo 2 was an online service, but I think you could LAN Diablo 2 just fine between two computers. Like every game that came out of that era was networked, especially like Quake and Counter-Strike and Team Fortress. Like it was no issue setting up your own server. And now the numbers of games that you can actually just download and play and directly connect to another computer and have community servers with mods and stuff for low gravity or 100% crits and shit, like that's just gone, and it's probably never coming back ever. Like even the big blockbuster game that was like a huge indie success, that BattleBit game, that's still, like I played it for a weekend and I got bored, and a huge part of the game is like that you can turn on your microphone and talk to people, and I never did. Not once I turned on my microphone. You know why? Because in order to turn on your microphone, you have to agree to a EULA that says everything that you say is recorded and passed through an automated system to ensure community guidelines are obeyed, which means that there's real human and automated monitoring of what you say in that program. Even though it's a small indie game, like a blockbuster, the thing is that now Unity, which is what it's built on, Unity is a massive company. People really don't understand or appreciate how massive Unity is. Every indie game in the world is built on Unity, basically, and they offer tons of services related to advertising and automatic, like if you're launching a game and you don't know how big it's going to be, you can write it to work on their servers so that if 1 million people download your app and start playing, it actually scales automatically. It deploys new servers automatically, and you never have any downtime because it's all centrally controlled by Unity. And then of course they offer new services with machine learning to monitor voice chat and all sorts of stuff to make sure that nobody says the N-word. And even indie games that are coming out now is completely and totally centrally organized and controlled by like Unity, which makes it easier for indie game developers to launch their game. So it really is absolutely dire how little control people have over how their data is used. It's basically, if you want to play a game, you will consent to having your chat monitored, you will consent to having your voice recorded, you will consent to being on their servers, and if you do anything that they don't like, you are banned. You're no longer allowed to play the product that you purchased, even with your own friends on your own computer, and you have no appeals process. There's nothing that you can say or do to get it back. You just have to buy the game a second time, and you better be a better boy that time around. So yeah, it's like I said, people ask me what games do I play. I don't play any games because I hate them all. I hate the companies that make them. I hope to see people drawn out and guillotined in my lifetime. If everybody, like, it's hard not to say things that are like violently rhetoric, because it's like, what would I lose? What would society really lose if everybody at Twitch, everybody at YouTube, everybody in Microsoft was guillotined? Nothing. Society would heal. Somebody even linked a video about, it was like a TED Talk. It wasn't a TED Talk properly, but it was like a presentation. And I think it was just called the competency crisis. And it was an interesting point that I've never heard before. I've never heard this sentiment. And I'm not being ironic. I've literally never heard this thought that there is a misconception that societies and technology only progresses linearly, that things only ever get better, that nothing is ever forgotten, and technology just builds on itself over and over again, and nothing is ever lost or forgotten. And he's pointing out to many instances in ancient history, recent history, and modern history where something has existed, been built upon, and then forgotten. Like the one that stands out is that there were flamethrowers used by the Byzantine Empire, which is how they were able to defend Constantinople for centuries from the Ottomans, which had a superior force, because for some reason the Byzantines had this flame cannon that nobody has ever seen up until like the First World War, when people reinvented the flamethrower. But these boat-mounted fire throwers were completely unique to the Byzantine. When the Byzantine Empire collapsed, they were gone forever. So it is, and then in the 90s, as his recent example, there was a microchip crisis where several microchip producers were producing inferior quality defective microchips all at the same time. And when people were investigating why there was this crisis in the supply chain, the answer was basically that the OG engineers that invented the semiconductors and the microchips to begin with had retired or died by that point. And the new yoke who had taken up the mantle of managing these chips were bad at it. And they didn't know what they were doing, and they didn't understand the underlying technology, and they just couldn't do it. And so there was a crisis of competency where these companies failed to make products as they had in the past, when you would assume that they only get better and better. And then you look at today, and you look at networking, and you look at how few people understand anything about modern networking and the Border Gateway Protocol or anything related to that. And you realize that there is once again a serious competency crisis. Nobody knows how anything's put together. The few people that do are fucking insane, and they are maliciously, willfully harming your ability to access what you have. And the understanding and appreciation of low-level programming is basically non-existent. The modern deluge of programmers, of street shitters and what's it, H-1B visa applicants, they're programmers, quote unquote, but they all write in fucking JavaScript. They have no idea what they're doing. They have no appreciation for memory or for the actual mechanics of how a computer operates, which is why modern games are like 100 gigabytes in size and they run like shit. When you have games like that Alien Isolation game, which runs beautifully, looks beautiful, and ran on hardware that was, ancient, like in 2014 when it came out. And the reason why is because those people have no idea what the fuck they're doing. And even though we have much more amazing computers now, they can't run shit code. So you're literally seeing a decay in society that is a direct consequence of people aging out of the industry, people becoming less intelligent, less informed, less educated, and less competent. And Microsoft, Disney, and all these, and Amazon and YouTube and all these other things that seem to be getting shittier all the fucking time, is not only, legally minded people and maliciously minded people involved in some complot or conspiracy to make things worse. That I do believe that is one part of it, but those are not the people who are running the day-to-day things. The day-to-day people running the businesses are just dumber and shittier than they were 10 or 20 years ago and less competent. So I feel it in my bones that we're going to see things literally falling apart, especially with the government, because they keep trying to shill out more and more money for more and more people to run their agencies. They think that they're going to be able to enforce a broader tax code with 81,000 armed IRS agents. And those people are going to be like first generation Venezuelan immigrants who could not possibly give less of a fuck about what they're doing and can't parse American tax code and can't really enforce it correctly. So we're literally building, what we're doing is we're building machines with competent people that are going to enforce things that nobody really understands, and nobody's really going to understand how the machines work. It's going to be like Idiocracy. It's literally going to be like Idiocracy or Wall-E or whatever. We're just going to build all these things, and the people that understand them are going to die, and people are going to be spoiled soy devs who only know JavaScript and don't understand how they work. They're only going to know how to write code that the machines can complete automatically for them. By the way, I've tested that GitHub Copilot shit. Pajits are obsolete now. I type in a I wish, God, can I show you this? Hold up. I will try to show you this in real time. Hold up. Am I like not signed in or something? Yeah, you have to like be connected to the internet for these things to work anyways. Oh, I was gonna try to show you guys something with the oh my god, it works. Okay, listen. Let me show you this just real quick. Hopefully I can do this without fucking it up. Let's see. I'm gonna go here. Window capture, be very careful not to fuck this up. Visual Studio Code. Transform. Hit the screen. Okay, and then if we're very, very lucky, I should be able to do this. Okay, I'm going to show you real code that I work on. You ready? So this is code that I've written. Anything in color is something that I've actually written myself. And then I'm going to write a comment like this: remove a random session. And I'm going to start a function name drop random session. And I'm going to just pause it there. I'm not typing anything. In fact, I might. There we go. So what has happened is that Microsoft, through channeling the Antichrist into specific demonic sigils written onto silicon, has able to learn from other computers and repositories that they've kept up, the millions of repositories on GitHub, has able to learn like code. So like really convincingly. And now I can read you what this is doing. It predictably understands that it's going to be accepting a Scylla session, which is a databasing thing. It starts to log it because that's following how I write my logs. So it knows how to write my logs. It then writes a CQLSH or CQL statement here. Select ID from session by last seen, limit 1 with page size 1. And then it goes through the rows. And then it borrows code from other stuff that I've done. So this doesn't actually drop actually, it does. It does, actually. It drops a random... Okay, I understand how... See, I don't even know how it works. I have to sit down and think about what it's doing. And now I see that because of how Scylla works, the ordering is already random. So when it just selects one random session and then drops it, it'll be very pseudo-random. You wouldn't be able to predict which one's going to get dropped. So... Pajits are now obsolete. I'm just telling you this right now. The computers are at such a point where you can type in what you want, press tab, and then with very minimal fucking around with it, you can get functional code that's not shitty. It's not something you just copied off Stack Overflow without understanding it. It actually works. And as long as you know how to structure it together, you know how to tweak it, you know how to test it, and you have a vague understanding of what you're doing, you can write code that works. And I use this. I can guarantee you that it works. It's part of Kiwiflare. What I just showed you was real code from the Kiwiflare thing, and it works. And it learns from what I'm doing. So as I write code, it feeds it back to Microsoft HQ. It checks it for inwards, and then it puts it into its Learn database. So like I said, the competency crisis is not just here. It's getting worse. Every day, it is getting worse, where the Pajits and the people responsible for managing large, complex code bases don't understand the relying code, and they don't even know what they're writing because it's being generated by machines now. So, expect it, chat. Expect it. It's coming. The competency crisis, the total collapse of society as the technocrats who are in control forget how their own computers and machines work, and they just stop working over time. So there you go. Oh, someone wanted me to take a shot at China. Okay. I say so much about China that I have to now say something negative about China. Otherwise, people will assume I'm a shill. Unfortunately, the great People's Republic of China has been hit by a tragedy. The streets of Beijing are flooded. They've gotten 3 years worth of, as this guy says, 3 years worth of rain in 3 days. So there is horrific floods. There is a humanitarian crisis in China. They're not talking about it too much because it's a little bit embarrassing to have a humanitarian crisis in a developing country like that. And I want to say that there was a picture. Oh, this guy doesn't have it. There was a picture of a guy. They were setting up it was a big road that goes over like a flooded area, and they were setting up these metal sheets on the side of the bridge so that people driving over the bridge would not look over their shoulder into the valley below that's flooded with people stranded on their apartment buildings and shit, and see that, and then maybe also film it. So they put up view obstructing barriers so that people wouldn't take cell phone pictures of people dying on the roofs of the apartments. So Brownie, you're doing a heck of a job, and if you understand that, you're also old and you will die soon like me. The Seattle Museum, oh, speaking of Washington, the Seattle Museum of Pop Culture has removed J.K. Rowling, the turf queen of the world, from any mentions of in the Harry Potter exhibit. So they have their Harry Potter thing. They have a bunch of the movie props and shit, but J.K. Rowling has been removed. And I think there's like a Pooner that is the art director, Chris Moore. Yeah, that's the Pooner right there. This Pooner standing next to Gumby. Don't you fucking dare sexualize Gumby, you freak. Look at those gauges. Look at those gauges on that Pooner's ear. It's just like the Pooner meme. They always have gauges in the Pooner meme, and now I understand why. It's so nasty. You know that shit smells like cheese. Ask somebody who has gauges to take their gauge out and to smell it and tell you what it smells like. It smells like cheese, chat. It's disgusting. It's disgusting, and they're stuck with it because they can't take those things out because then they got butthole ears or onion ring ears. Vile, chat. Simply vile. But this Pooner explained the Pooner explains that the author used racial stereotypes, fat shaming, and a lack of LGBTQIA+ representation in the books. Despite Dumbledore being a faggot and bumming that dude up the ass, despite Cho Chang being in the book, there's a black she retroactively made Hermione Granger a black girl, I think, if I remember correctly, and fat shaming. Well, the Dursleys are fat. Hagrid, the probably indisputably, how do you actually say, indisputably the nicest, most caring, giving, loving character of the entire book series, who's put everything on the line for Harry multiple times, is literally half giant and is fat. If anything, I mean, yeah, I don't get it. It's just fucking Pooners complaining, man. It's just LGBTQIA+ crying. Aw, shit, man, we're not representing the shit, man. Pooner like me, where's the Pooners at? I'm a dude. Where are the dudes at? Dudes represent. That's it, whatever. Fuck it. So Kevin Spacey was acquitted of 9 sexual offenses in a London courtroom. And it was the third time in 2 continents that he has been acquitted of in the courts of law. And apparently, according to the Federalist, I'll try to sum this up. Kevin Spacey was falsely accused, and the allegations came from a collection of accusations that BuzzFeed put together. And according to the Federalist, BuzzFeed recklessly put together these accusations, did not fact check them, and actually deliberately ignored evidence to the contrary that it was all bullshit. So now they're saying that Kevin Spacey was actually innocent, that a bunch of people conspired to call him a sex pest because of the Me Too shit and to make a shit zillion dollars suing him. And this was actually orchestrated by BuzzFeed because of personal vendettas in the editorial team, and because the Buzz team staff desperately needs a story to make their franchise profitable. So I'm not sure I'm not sure, chat. I will leave it to you. This is on the Federalist.com. Court documents reveals BuzzFeed's shockingly unethical takedown of Kevin Spacey. I'll read the intro. The article specifically claimed that Spacey at age 26 had bought Rap, then age 14, and then an unnamed 17-year-old out to dinner in a nightclub. During this night, Spacey allegedly invited only Rap to a party several days later. At the party, the account went that Rap, bored by the adult vibe, retreated to a bedroom and pulled over the door to watch TV. After some time, he saw Spacey standing outside the doorway drunk. Spacey then allegedly came forward, dropped him on the bed, and lay across him in a sexual manner. According to BuzzFeed, Rap then managed to wiggle out from under Spacey and leave the apartment. At first glance, the article looked damning, and it certainly was an enormous blow to his career. However, a closer look reveals a few odd things out of the BuzzFeed article. Specifically, how quickly it made dramatic allegations while remaining rather sparse and vague about details. Tough one, chat. We have a homosexual, and then we have the media. Who do we hate more? I think I hate the media more. I can believe that BuzzFeed lied about Kevin Spacey. They really, Kevin Spacey was one of those people that I've just maligned in my head as definitely super did it. So if he didn't do it, that's pretty fucked up. Because even in my skeptical brain, my cautious, critical, analytical, logical, intelligent brain, I've allowed the journos to win. Very, very troubling. And then a last news thing. This is a Holocaust museum in Fortnite. I really have to go to the bathroom. So, since the Jewish Chronicle has provided us this 6-minute long tour of Fortnite's by Epic Games in-game Holocaust Memorial, where if you're curious, flossing is disabled, so you cannot floss in front of the memorial. However, the Jewish Chronicle, in their news article about the Holocaust Museum in Fortnite, mentioned that you can still wear a banana costume and any other cosmetics you would please into the Holocaust Museum. So while you cannot floss, you can visit the Holocaust Museum dressed as a banana, which offended them. So I'll let this play so you can learn a thing or two about our history, Jewish history, and I will go to the bathroom. Can I get some sound on this? No sound. No sound allowed. It's too sad. So if you're a podcast listener, go fuck yourself. Actually, I don't want to leave you guys without any sound, so I'm going to put on a song so you guys can listen to. Hava Nagila. Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila Benismecha. Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila Benismecha. Hava Neranana, Hava Neranana, Hava Neranana Benismecha. Havana ranana, Havana ranana, Havana ranana, Venismecha. Ru, 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 Achim, Murakim, Belev Sameach, Murakim, Belev Sameach, Murakim, Belev Sameach, Murakim, Belev Sameach, Murakim, Murakim, Belev Sameach. Haba Nagila, Haba Nagila, Haba Nagila Venismecha. Baba Nagila, Haba Nagila, Haba Nagila Venismecha. Havana ranana, Havana ranana, Havana ranana, Venismecha. Havana ranana, Havana ranana, Havana ranana, Venismecha. Ru, 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 Achim, Morakim, Belev Sameach, Morakim, Belev Sameach, Morakim, Belev Sameach, Morakim, Belev Sameach, Morakim, Morakim, Belev Sameach. Hello. No, there's two of me now. How horrific. So I hope you've learned something on this educational tour as I went pee. In case you're wondering, no, I do not have a weak bladder. I just drink a lot of water before my stream so that I'm hydrated, chat. Let's see what some critical reception of this would be. Museums that are just printed out Wikipedia articles should not be allowed to be called museum. This is surreal. I can't believe this is not an elaborate satire joke. Rip Anne Frank, you would have loved the Gritty. I'm assuming that the Gritty is a place in the game that you can drop to. Because when you say where we're dropping boys, if Anne Frank was there and was one of the boys, she would say, let's go to the Gritty. And everyone would be like, yeah, the Gritty's where it's at today. I got a good feeling that chicken dinner starts in the Gritty. That's how I imagine this happening. This person says, I'm all for the kids learning about the dark underbelly of history, but seriously, there is a time and place. You do realize that some anti-Semite could go in there and just shoot up the destroying the place, right? This is the most tone-deaf idea I've ever heard. Actually, they've disabled destruction physics inside the Holocaust Museum too, so you cannot floss and you cannot destroy things. I'm assuming if it's in game, then you could shoot, right? You could shoot up the Holocaust. I don't even want to say that. That's gonna put me on a list. I mean, I don't know where this is in the game, so I don't know how the gameplay, which is shooting each other, integrates into the Holocaust Museum. Is my question. They do bring up a salient point. Epic didn't approve this in the name of teaching Jewish history. They did it for publicity and engagement. Sure. Time to hit my floss. Respect to the people that made this. So many people are not educated enough about this, and it's clear to see from these comments. Okay, chat, here's a question. Will we see a Minecraft official Mojang server or mod for Holocaust education? Because they keep doing this shit. There's something like, I think they said that like 60% of like under 18s now have never heard of the Holocaust, so they're like really upset about this. And they did that thing where they tried to reenact the occupation of the Netherlands, and it was really fucking awesome, and everybody loved all the flags and all the tanks rolling down the streets, and it was like a huge success, and everyone thought it was awesome and loved it. And they're like, well, we can't do that again. So now they have to get creative. Make it, they gotta disable flossing. You can't disable flossing in real life. If the Panzer Corps is rolling down the streets of Amsterdam and everyone's flossing, you can't tell them like, stop your flossing, god damn it. Let's see. How do I see this in game? Map code. Okay, but I feel like Fortnite isn't the best platform to do this. Ha 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 ha. Summer camps are going to be out of business. And then, okay, I saw this comment before. I want to bring this to attention. Lindy Carey asked, why not add America First live streams to the Fortnite instead? So it's like, okay, who is this person shilling Nick Fuentes, the Catboy Fuhrer, the on YouTube? And sure enough, it is like an obvious man who is like impersonating like a young girl and posting about anime and shit on YouTube. Very sussy vodka. Bruh, this person says. I'm not going to read that, but I will point this out for everybody to enjoy. So there you go. Kids can learn about the dark underbelly of history now, thanks to Epic Games. It's not a troon, it's just like a creepy dude perving on people, as America First does. Here is a legal update for everybody. Mr. Beast of Mr. Beast fame, the guy who gives everybody money and then is like, I'm such a philanthropist and shit. He is suing a company that sold Mr. Beast burgers. So the gist of this app is, during COVID, you had a lot of mom and pop stores that made food. And in order to help those companies stay in business, according to the app, what they would do is license food from famous personalities and then sell the food. And any store participating in their program could make the food and sell it under that brand name. So when Mr. Beast agreed to have the Mr. Beast burger, which I guess is like a double patty bacon cheeseburger from the looks of it. People who bought this Mr. Beast burger from the app would get it from whoever happened to cook it. So as you could imagine, a lot of stores that were making the Mr. Beast burger, which is not even a part of their own original menu, would send out burgers with very dubious quality. This pissed Mr. Beast off, and apparently the company selling the Mr. Beast burgers, not only in the US but in Europe, would be unable to reclaim his own identity and the trademark for Mr. Beast burger, which they have apparently trademarked under their own property. So he allowed them to use his likeness for the purpose of selling their burgers. They did a very poor job of controlling quality. He's received many complaints from customers saying that the Mr. Beast burger they received was fucking disgusting. And in his attempts to reclaim his own identity from this application, they have told him to go fuck himself. So now he is suing them for various torts, in particularly stealing his likeness and causing him reputational harm. But just a general rundown of what's happening. I find court proceedings like this fascinating. So, in this comment, he says, by the way, he's such like the way that this tweet is written makes me not like him because it's so corporate. Yeah, the problem with Beast Burger is that I can't guarantee the quality of the order. When working with other restaurants, it's important to control it, sadly. And to be honest, I just enjoy Feastables 100 times more. Making snacks is awesome and something I've always been more passionate about. Heart emojis. Imagine writing that you have a product line of snacks called Feastables and you're really, really passionate about your Feastables. I don't know. It sounds like, imagine if I sold something like that. What would I call them? The Nulsticles? The Nulsticles. You want some Nulsticles? Get some Nulsticles in your mouth. I'm very passionate about you getting my Nulsticles in your mouth. It's and I have excellent quality control over my Nulsticles. Someone keeps talking about my nussy on the Kiwi Farms. I've seen this word used more than once now. It's making me deeply uncomfortable. That's also not for sale. No matter how much you offer me, Nick Fuentes. Not happening. That's the Mr. Beast thing. So Jackie Singe is continuing to try and dox the owner of the Opie and Anthony Forum, which was sued by Patrick Tomlinson and won a judgment against Patrick Tomlinson. Jackie Singe is an incredibly ugly Indian woman, in case you forgot. She's a very internet tough guy who constantly postures about how she's going to like do shit and then doesn't do anything. Actually, she does do something. What she does is she reads the Kiwi Farms a lot. There's a big thread that I haven't dived into at all because it's just so autistic and I don't give a fuck. There's a group called Tor Swats, and the long and short of Tor Swats is that they're a bunch of fucking weirdos, and they were responsible. I think people now agree that they were the ones responsible for swatting like a bunch of people last year. And the federal government, the United States of America, the most powerful organization that's ever existed in the history of mankind, the most powerful empire that has ever graced God's green earth, the largest budget in the entire universe, that outspends everybody. The FBI has an annual budget of like $10 billion a year or some shit. I think it's even higher than that. The CIA has a budget of like $70 billion a year or some shit right now. So despite the billions and billions of dollars, there's a group of kids on the internet, probably from Poland, that goes onto Telegram and openly brags about sliding their dick down the mouth of the United States and swats its Congress people. And our government is completely and totally incapable of doing anything about this because they've been operating in the public for like 4 years now, and the government just can't do anything about it. So I think they were doxxed by the Kiwi Farms because even though the government's the most powerful thing that the universe has ever fucking seen, is basically a god that walks among men. It was the Kiwi Farms, I think, that publicized a bunch of docs for the people involved. Or I don't even know if it's doxing. I think they're like somewhat doxed. Like it's really fucking autistic. The point that I was going to make is that Jackie Singe, despite being a gross Pajit that endlessly rants and raves about how the Kiwi Farms should be destroyed every day, when it came time to talk about Tor Swats and the shit that they do, what does she use as a primary source? She uses the Kiwi Farms as the primary source. So it's funny how this happens all the time. Keffels did the exact same fucking thing. Whenever it comes down to using the when it comes down to like destroying the site, they're all for it. But when there's something on the site that they actually use, they will also directly, shamelessly copy that information. Usually they pretend not to, and you just have to. It's just like a quote of like the post with like the actual attributions like cut out and shit. But it's pretty obvious what they're doing whenever that happens. Do something I found funny. So this is kind of related to Twitch. I will simply sum this up. Oh, actually, you know what? I will play the video of him crying at the end. So FouseyTube, who I only know because years and years ago, a guy, that Colossal is crazy guy who made like 8 videos about drama and then became a podcaster because he realized that that's more money, and now just does a podcast, coasting off the recognition he got from like videos he did like literally 8 years ago at this point. He did a video on FouseyTube, and I don't remember anything about it except that he's famous and he's an asshole apparently. So he's apparently an enormously popular Twitch streamer, and he's in an airport or something, and there's a chick there, and she's like a hoe, and he's talking about her, and she's like, yeah, I'm like a sex trafficking victim, and I'm all fucked up, I'm like mentally ill because I've been abused and shit. And then he obviously goes off camera to fuck her. He comes back and he seems like really hyped up. She comes out like a minute later, like in a public bathroom, and she's got like her hair is all messed up, and then he lost an earpiece or something, and she checks her cleavage to see it's in there or something. It's like really obvious that he had sex with this person who admitted that they were a sex trafficking victim. And then he realizes, my whole career is fucked up. I just had sex with a prostitute on camera, and and he starts crying about it. Let's watch.
How big this moment is right now. I spent my whole career pretending to be a good person. What can I do to get people to like me? No matter what it was. I'm not a good person. I'm not a good person. I'm not. And I got exposed tonight. I'm not a good person. I wish I had weed right now. I wish I had weed right now just to smoke. I'm not a good person. I swear to God, I fooled all of you for thinking I'm a good person. I used to go to massage. But the girl was sex trafficked, man, and I feel guilty about that. Because I used to mess with girls who were sex trafficked. And the fact that she was one of them makes me feel like absolute shit, dog. And no one's gonna understand that, but I understand that. It's guilty.
What's funny about him is that he's a Muslim, and his whole shtick is that like, I'm a Muslim, and in Islam, women are property, and if you want to be a MGTOW like me, revert to Islam and submit to Allah and accept Muhammad as his prophet. And I was wondering, as a result of this, oh, by the way, he got banned from Twitch. Apparently he's perma-banned because he fucked a... I forgot to mention that before they had sex, he put out her Cash App, and his fans tipped her like $2,000 or something. So I'm pretty sure that the whole thing was like, oh, I'm being pimped out, and you just gave me $2,000 of Cash App through your fans, I guess, for having sex now. I think that's basically what happened. So that's why when he realized that he broadcasted it, so now he's like, oh, I really fucked up. They're gonna fall down on me now, which Amazon did, in part I think because of his reaction. If he just like, nah, man, I hit it, you know how I do and shit, man. I'm a womanizer. I see them girls and I know what to say. If he had just like hit it off like that instead of like lying and saying it was a prank, like I think that he probably wouldn't have gotten banned. But to like break down like that on stream and be like, no, I fucked somebody who's getting raped. I'm a cunt. I'm a terrible person. Like he basically just admitted to it. He did the whole thing that like the making mama proud. The truth will set you free. Just confess to what you did, and that's what gets you. That's what got him. I don't know. It's kind of fucked up, but the real thing is that like how I think he confused me. Correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm confused, but I'm pretty sure like he's a MGTOW type, and his whole thing is that like is about how to get laid. Right? Someone explained to me that there's a weird overlap. And like these buff Muslim dudes who are like role models for like retards on the internet. And the reason why there's this weird overlap is because in Arab society, there is like actual toxic masculinity where you have this machoism that women are property. You're supposed to have like 8 wives and shit. And never catch feelings for a bitch and shit. So they just take this like horny retardation, which is basically what it is, and then they sell it to people as like a religious philosophy. They say like this is Islam, this is how Islamic culture is. And then when the Lost Boys, as I like to call them, the Nick Fuentes Lost Boys, watch these people like Zerka and this guy and there's some other guy, and Andrew Tate. They're like, yeah, if I convert to Islam, I'm not being a horny retard anymore. I'm actually based and red-pilled and following the tenets as set forth by the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And it's like this weird grip. The religiosity aspect also adds like an additional selling point to these red-pill Muslim types, because there's like this pull thing where Christianity is turned the other cheek, so therefore Christianity is weak and cucked. But Islam is based. It's about taking up your AK-47 and blowing yourself up and raping women and genociding the Yazidi and shit. And that's epic and Chad and red pilled. So it has like an additional appeal to the Lost Boys as well, where it's like it's not just a red pill philosophy; it's a red pill religion, and therefore it's not being a retard. It's being it's following Allah's footsteps. It's very strange. Have pity on the Lost Boys, chat. They think that their gangly white asses will be accepted as Giga Chads in the world of Islam. If only they listen to Andrew Tate enough, they too can have a Ferrari. Am I saying they're wrong? Yes, I'm saying that Muslims worship a pedophile that fucked a 9-year-old, and they try to pass that off as Chad. I think that Muslims are wretched, and the Prophet Muhammad was a fucking child rapist. And I think that the fact that you can't say that the Prophet Muhammad is a child rapist in the EU, and that's a hate speech, is proof that the European Union is doomed to fail. Because if you can't look at a child rapist who fucked a 9-year-old and say that's a child rapist who fucked a 9-year-old, then you don't have any freedom of speech at all, and your society deserves to collapse. I looked into Islam because, of course, I myself, as a recovering lost boy, looked into I looked into all my options, as I usually do. I keep my site up. How do I keep my site up? I look at all my options and evaluate them very carefully. I do research into what I do, and I try to pick the best option. And like with min-maxing my life and trying to figure out what should I do, what should I look at in terms of religion, I looked at Islam because there are some good arguments, like in terms of how they managed to retain a conservative society and not succumb to the West and become pedophile trannies and shit. But I can't get over the fact that the Prophet Muhammad had like 8 wives, and one of them was a 9-year-old girl who he married at like 6 and consummated that marriage at 9. And that was his favorite wife. That's not just any wife. Maybe it was like some kind of strategic royalty marriage that he used to build his caliphate. No, that was his favorite wife, was the 9-year-old that he fucked So I am forced to assume that the Prophet Muhammad had a predilection for child sex, which makes him a pedophile, and I refuse to worship a pedophile because I'm not mentally ill. And if you're really desperate for a crumb, maybe worshiping a pedophile, it seems rational to you. Maybe it's the only thing that makes sense in your mind, but I'm not desperate, and I refuse to worship a pedophile for the chance of getting a crumb. You know what I mean? I really have utter and total disdain for Islam. I can't make peace with it. I can't even tolerate it, really. That's just how I feel about that. So H3 managed to epically own Ethan Klein during a debate, and then he started to do the worm. Let's watch.
Boost. But when XQC does it, it's different. When he watches my video, he always re-uploads the whole thing on his YouTube channel with his insightful commentary as, wow, chat, isn't this crazy? Compared to when Hassan watched my stuff, he shouted me out and he says he loves my stuff and he sent a bunch of subscribers to my channel. A fair exchange. Here's a video. He showed me a video of Hassan doing that. And then he said, XQC, he really just steals my shit. Entertains his audience of hundreds of hours I put into my videos while I get just a link in the YouTube description. The problem isn't the reacting, it's the re-uploading of my video with his face on the thumbnail, and also and I don't DMCA him because I don't want the Twitter drama.
He doesn't want the Twitter drama.
Wait, why are you?
These people are so fucking annoying. Like, that's just Hassan screaming. Send him back to where he came from. I do not want to be around this man. I hope he's in LA, because I hope LA gets nuked. That would solve. If LA just got a fucking nuclear bomb dropped on it right now, you know how many problems would be resolved? How many loose ends on this planet would be succinctly tied up forever? It would help a lot. So you have three retards on the screen, which is a lot of suffering. You have Ethan Klein rubbing his hands together and saying, it's not fair. It's not fair that this XQC takes my content and puts it online and makes money from my content. I gotta get in on this. You can't just take my content and put it online. That's not fair. You have to give me a kickback. And then Hassan is watching this and he's going right for whatever reason. I have no fucking idea what he's up to. But he's involved in this for whatever reason. And then I think this is the debate they have where he does the worm. Let's watch. Hopefully this will actually load.
So what you're saying is that you went digging for victims. That
I literally messaged one dude.
Okay, so nobody in your production room believed
Why
that.
don't you just apologize to Vince Vintage?
I absolutely will, and I feel I didn't get a Twitter DM. I didn't get nothing. I feel really bad. You want to know why? Because all about the whole sphere of this, everything around it, is to make something good happen. Right? And that matters to me a lot.
That's such bullshit, bro. Nice try. You literally do it to enrich yourself. You're a multimillionaire and you steal content from small creators and you don't give a fuck about their rights or what they want. And then your only justification is, oh yeah, you can come chase me down and complain and try to get my attention so I can pay you for the shit I stole. It's total bullshit, bro. You're not creating anything big for anyone. You're just taking attention and views for yourself and you don't give a fuck about the consequences of that. It's
as if Ethan Klein did not make his career off taking random fucking clips of other people and commenting over that. I really I hate him. I hope he's miserable. I hope Ethan Klein is the most miserable fucking sad sack in the world, because he's such a piece of shit. I don't know anything about XQC, but like, I don't know. I feel like if you put something on the internet, and correct me if this is some outlandish opinion, if you put something out on the internet, people are allowed to then take that content and remix it and comment over it and share it however they please. I am just so over copyright as a concept. Copyright is the most evil thing that's ever been invented. I looked this up. I was corrected on the Heterodorks podcast, which I didn't even mention, but I was on a TERF podcast with a Troon and a TERF. I don't know if they would take offense to being called a Troon. They're transgender. I didn't even know this until someone pointed out to me afterwards. But it was like a British transgender and then a British TERF, and they wanted to talk about deplatforming and shit. And the woman was like interested in copyright law because she's a copyright abolitionist, and she pointed out correctly that the origin of copyright law has its comes from when the printing press was a new thing, and the King of England wanted to censor the printing press. So copyright originates from the restriction of the freedom of the press. And to this day, it restricts the freedom of the press, because then Shekelmeisters like Ethan Klein can rub his hands together and say, you can't steal my content. You owe me a kickback. You can't just put a link in the comment that says where you got the video from. You owe me a percentage in perpetuity for using my content. Otherwise, you're a thief. You don't want to be a thief, do you? It's vile. I am so over it. I am so over copyright. I don't give a fuck about copyright for movies. I don't give a fuck about copyright for YouTube videos or whatever. If you can't convince people to give you money to support you for the work that you do not deserve the money. If you cannot make the viewing experience of what you're doing a positive thing that people want to economically reward you for directly to see more of it, you don't deserve the money. People should not be forced to tithe you to witness something that was created so that they can witness it. It's absolutely, I hate it, because it is a gateway for people like Ethan fucking Klein to decide what can and cannot be said about the shit that they put out. And it's truly fucking disgusting. If you can't defend what you make, if you can't justify its existence, if you can't warrant your own continued existence and profitability based on your own copacetic relationship with your own audience, then you don't deserve it. Sick of it. I mean a total abolition for copyright. Trademark is different. I'm a little bit pro, but companies ruin that shit as well. But like as far as like brand names and stuff, that should be protected so that people can build a reputation. But as far as like, no, you can't watch my movie unless you watch it in the specific ways that I allow it. And if I suddenly decide that I'm going to completely and totally remove any evidence that my creation existed, you have to go along with that. No, I'm over it. I'm completely done with it. I don't give a fuck about content creators. That's why I say people can do whatever the fuck they want with my podcast. I don't give a shit. I know that my audience search when they see my clips and shit, when they see it on fucking 4chan or on YouTube, they hunt down. I know it's very hard these days, but they hunt down where I live stream and they watch it there because they want to support what I do, and I really appreciate that. And I don't feel the need to point guns at people to try and collect pennies for restreams. And then, of course, the people who do archive my videos on YouTube, they run ads. And guess what? I get people asking me, did you know that this archive channel is running ads? Did you know that they're running ads and making money off your videos? They're not. I've talked to these people. They don't run ads. You know why you see ads on my YouTube videos if people archive my clips? Because if there's even 5 seconds of any song in existence, then one of the two rights groups, BMI or the other one, are able to run ads and collect ad money on the entire fucking video. The entire 3-hour long stream is suddenly the copyright of BMI. They run ads on it, they collect the money for it, and then they distribute 10 cents for every dollar they make to the actual artist, whose 30 seconds of song I used to make, or which incidentally appeared in a TikTok video that I was making fun of. And that's disgusting. It is always morally righteous. It's actually a moral obligation. It's not just a good thing to do. It's not just okay to do. It is a responsibility of each and every person to find a way to watch as few ads in their life as possible. Because there was a time where advertisers were complaining that ad breaks during like the Super Bowl were used for bathroom breaks, and they're like, we need to find a way. You know what, I'm gonna find this real quick. I'm gonna show you what doesn't happen if you don't go out of, like, YouTube is rolling out ad blocker now, so they're trying to force you to watch ads. I want to show you what the future is if you do not push back against ads as a whole and copyright as a whole. Oh, this is fact checked by Snopes as true. Let's take a look, boys. Is it true that Sony patented a proposed way of getting you to skip commercials by yelling brand names at TVs? It is true. This is what they're going to do to you. You're going to be watching TV. Your TV is going to be always on, connected to the internet and recording what's happening in your living room. If you want to skip your McDonald's ads, you have to stand up, raise your arms, and say, McDonald's. They want you to do a goy dance in order to skip their advertisements. This is the end goal of advertisers. If you're a disarmed, peaceful, pacifistic cattle population willing to accept advertisers and what copyright holders and what they want to do to you, this is your future. Your children will be raised in a world where the TV teaches them to get up and dance and shout the name McDonald's when an advertisement comes on so they can keep watching Frozen or whatever the fuck. You must fight it. You must hate these people with every inch of your heart. It is the morally righteous thing to do. Vile chat. Antichrist, exactly. The Antichrist wears a suit and tie and he works at an ad executive agency. Anyways. Oh, this is the part where he does the worm.
This conversation has kind of been exhausted.
People would rather watch me full screen cam do the fucking worm than watch your prime.
Bro,
watch your
do
prime
it for
content.
a week. Do a week of no reaction content and see how many fucking views you get. Oh, he's crying in the corner. Oh, okay, sure. I mean, that's content, man. It's original content at least. Yes, do that, bro. Dude, do a
you
week.
fucking love it, man.
Bro,
this is the most money you've gotten in the past fucking 4 years, bitch.
It's awesome. Do a week of no react content.
What we've seen here is real-time Kabbalah magic. Using the and you can't see his left hand, but he's actually holding the Talmud in his hand, and through the right sequence of words with his red wristband on, he says, "Do it." And then suddenly the goy is writhing on the ground like a worm, being tortured and directly manipulated through the Kabbalah magic into dancing for him on live stream. That's why you must not ever confront Ethan Klein directly. He's far too powerful. Maybe one day his apprentice will throw him down a mine shaft or some kind of long elevator and he'll explode. But that's what you just saw happen in real time. Let's see. This is, oh fuck. I hid my screen and I didn't hide it, so I showed my tabs again. God damn it. This is, hold up, I have the name somewhere. Give me a second. I'm a retard. I don't know who this is. Someone in chat. It's like Isabel something, I think. Anyways, she's 7 months pregnant and she's having a conversation with, I think, Zerka. So let's see how that goes.
My husband's texting me and he said that he wanted me to tell you that we will have our daughter ready for you as a virgin.
What the fuck? You guys are crazy, dude. Oh my god. You know what's crazy?
I think she's an America First streamer. I want to make sure I'm right about this because that is Zerka, right? Am I not like completely insane? I'm pretty sure that's really Zerka, and I want to say that that is somebody who streams on America First. Am I wrong or am I right? Because I've it's in my notes that that's what it is, and I don't believe it. I feel like I'm wrong. They took this wrong. She has press 0, airbrush face. Women will do anything for attention. Damn, I don't think it's a woman issue. Yes, Zerka. She did lesbo porn. That's true. That's what Ethan Ralph did a thing about how she's like a trad thought LARPer now for America First, because her thing is like, I'm a real trad wife. I'm pregnant. I'm like barefoot and pregnant. That's what everyone should be. So I'm like a real trad thought you should be paying attention to. And then it comes out that she did like lesbian porn or something. Now she's 7 months pregnant, telling Zerka, who is a self-admitted pedophile, that he can have her unborn daughter as a virgin, I guess, I guess at 6. That seems to be the age that the Muslims get their hands on little girls in the Middle East. So I guess when she's 6 years old, they can. They're already betrothed. So as soon as the blood flows, he can have her. I guess that's how it works in Muslim law. So Culture War Criminal, or Ryan Sanchez, is the newest person to be streaming, because now that they have, let me just show you actually. This is what we got on Cozy TV without Ethan Ralph. Unironically, like not even as a joke. As funny as it can be to Deb on Ralph, like without him consistently pulling a couple hundred viewers on Cozy TV, like 8 hours a day, every day, putting in the work to like keep the site looking active. The current top streamer right now is Wendell. I don't even know who the fuck that is, with 80 viewers. Joe the Boomer with 65. Wooza with 55, saying my last stream. So his last stream on Cozy is getting 55 viewers. Chief Trumpster with 42. The Lo-Fi Girl. Oh, it's not the Lo-Fi Girl. It's like a knockoff Lo-Fi Girl with 17 viewers. Alex Jones restreamed for 12. And that's what's left of Cozy TV. So, what's his face? Nick Fuentes trying to stuff the ballot a little bit and get people actually streaming on Cozy so that anybody will watch anything on Cozy at any time of day. Has apparently, no, I can't confirm this. I've heard that this might be a gay op, but I will let my audience decide, as you're all intelligent adults. So I trust you will come to the correct decision on your own.
That Milo paid for Baked Alaska to fly to LA and put him up in a hotel as basically like an audition for Baked Alaska to meet Kanye and be on the Kanye 2024.
Stop! Go away!
And it's like,
not coming back
okay, so
in.
then all of a sudden,
Your dog is
crying. I knew this guy for 6 years.
It is my fucking
we were
fault.
close friends.
I am owning it, but goddamn, I do my goddamn best to make it better, and nobody puts any fucking thought into. Oh, Travis is working on getting better. No, it's Travis making fucking mistakes. And everybody wants to hold me accountable for that because nobody wants to hold themselves accountable. What do you hold yourself accountable for? What does she hold herself accountable for? Nothing. You just flip the bird and go smoke.
He's working with Milo.
2 hours, you don't remember
throw
that.
me under the bus.
No.
And in exchange,
You're just doing
he
it.
was flown out to meet Kanye, which is what he always wanted.
Yeah, it is.
He's the biggest cloud chaser for the last 7 months. And I said, well, that's pretty rich because, I mean, he knows full well, he knows better than me that Milo's like a pedophile. You know, everybody knows that Milo got canceled back in 2017 because he was talking about how 13-year-old boys can have sex with adult men, and that's totally, it's actually a good thing, he said.
Didn't Rambot do this too? Does Rambot hate America First? I can't remember, because he's like a gay anime faggot. And he's like, I don't know. Rambot also like had meltdowns at his wife on record. He got drunk and like screamed at her when Ralph was around. You're like having an argument with Rambot, and then his wife came in, and he's just like, he's being shouted at for being up at like 4 a.m. getting shit-faced and crying to Ethan Ralph. And he yells at her. And now this guy's like openly beating his wife. And she's very sure to mention that he's hitting her. I don't know, man. Someone said neighbor alarm. You've triggered a trap card. I downloaded this video and I have absolutely zero legitimate reason to play this on stream, but I will anyways.
I heard that smoke alarm. I will PayPal you $50 to go change your smoke alarm batteries right now.
What are you talking about?
Your smoke alarm's going off, bro. Battery's dying.
I don't know what house y'all talking about. It's clearly not my house.
Hey, Mark, is that your house?
Definitely gotta be one of y'all house.
Hey, there it is! Hey! That's your ass, Red Raider. Your smoke alarm batteries are low, bro.
He's so used to hearing that he can't hear it.
No, it's not. Okay.
You gotta die. You gotta. There it is. Hey!
These niggas keep talking about the smoke alarm is going off. I keep telling they stupid.
That is your shit.
They clearly Sorry.
Man, I saw your mic. There he goes. Come on, man.
It's I don't think he understands based on his reaction. Now that I've heard this like 3 times, it just occurred to me that he says they talking about the smoke alarm going off, and he doesn't get it that it's not that the smoke alarm is actively going off like they're burning something in their kitchen. He doesn't understand that the chirp is the smoke alarm warning that it's low battery. So he's like, it's not going off, but he doesn't get that the chirping is like a warning mechanism to inform him that the battery is low and that soon he will not be protected by the smoke alarm if he doesn't replace the battery. He just does it. He thinks that that's how it's supposed to be. Like it just chirps occasionally. He doesn't get it. It's very interesting. Anyways, that's the smoke alarm segment. Funny. So, my boy Ethan Ralph, who's currently on a tear against America First and his righteous crusade to burn down a cabal of weirdo lolicons on the internet. Who has messaged me? Oh, how could this be? I've disabled sounds and I continue to get messages. I don't understand. Anyways, so the RalphRetort.com. I'll read I haven't had an opportunity to do my Ralph voice in so long. I have to practice it to make sure that I can actually continue to do it in the future. The RalphReport.com can exclusively report that Ali Alexander, the Nick Fuentes associate who is now under criminal investigation for soliciting nude pictures of underage boys, which he also admitted to, runs AF Post X account. The X is the new name of Twitter, which was purchased by Elon Musk in the fall of 2020. Thank you, Ralph. I didn't know that. Speaking of Elon Musk, he personally replied to the account yesterday afternoon. It is unknown at this time whether Mr. Musk knows that the account belongs to notorious pedophile enthusiast or pedophilia enthusiast Ali Alexander. So he is not simply a pedophile who solicits nude images of underage boys. He's also a general pedophilia enthusiast. Some people are enthusiasts of war memorabilia or other collectibles or like Dungeons and Dragons, but he's actually not only a pedophile himself, he's an enthusiast of pedophilia content. And this is a picture of Elon Musk actually replying to America First post directly, which is a bit of a weird thing to see happen. That really emboldens the cat boys, I'm sure. Despite recent claims to the contrary from the America First leader, Mr. Fuentes, Ali Alexander is still deeply embedded in his organization. In the spring, after the pedophilia scandal originally broke, Alexander associates Paul Escudon, who also directed and produced a film on Fuentes, confirmed that Fuentes still speaks to the aforementioned Alexander every day. Fuentes has been caught in lie after lie about this and many other aspects of his relationship to Alexander. Two confidential sources who possess a deep knowledge of the inner workings of America First. Wow, Ralph has got that journalist speak down. According to two confidential sources familiar with the matter regarding Ali Alexander and his association with Nick Fuentes. Like that's some journal speak for I got real sources. I got big boy sources. You better bet your ass I got some sources. No, I'm not gonna tell you. And Nick Fuentes' relationship with Ali Alexander have confirmed to the RalphRetort.com that the AF Post account is ran by Alexander himself. That may not even be the worst part, however. That's because he doesn't run it alone. He's the top guy, but a team of young, male America First members help him with the project. Some other individuals involved are believed to be underage. Given Alexander's history of grooming underage boys for sexting and perhaps more, he asked many of his victims to meet him in person on trips all across the United States. This is a troubling revelation. AF Post appears to be nothing other than another opportunity for Alexander to prey on young and even underage boys, which I can believe in. It does seem like Ali Alexander has this weird amount of clout and pull, and Nick Fuentes is like deliberately, intentionally feeding him young boys. And I mean, I guess Nick Fuentes got this whole politics thing down pat. He really knows how to get his way. He knows that he have to pay a pound of flesh and blood to the right people to get anywhere in politics, and he's just got Ali Alexander in like his back pocket. He gets anytime Ali Alexander gets caught having sex with like a child, he just reshuffles him into America First in a different branch, so he can just keep doing that over and over again. Really, just I was completely wrong about Nick Fuentes. He really understands how politics works. Ron Berger, if you think I'm going to read all his $1 super chats, you're fucking crazy. I know what you're doing. Stop reading there. That's funny that Elon Musk replied. I wonder if he's going to get shit. He's going to get dragged by the ACLU for that one. Already played that. So Yoba Baked Alaska is out of jail. He was put up for, I think, 60 days in the Fed. After getting out of the Fed, the state of New Mexico asked for him to be returned to them to be imprisoned for the macing of the bouncer from like 2 years ago. So he got out from his January 6th thing, and then New Mexico said give him to us, and then he tried to appeal that and say like he's already out, he already spent 60 days, maybe that should count. New Mexico was like, actually no, that's not happening. So he went to serve 60 days again in New Mexico immediately after being free, and now Baked Alaska is back in action. He's actually free this time. I don't think he has any more pending cases. Keeps his nose clean, and he has decided that now that he's a free man, he's also going to be free of Nicholas J. Fuentes. He has come out swinging out of the pen and saying he knows a faggot when he sees one, and Nicholas J. Fuentes is a faggot, if anything. Baked Alaska says, as a Christian male, I forgive Nick Fuentes for the evil things he's done to me, although I do not wish to associate with him. I pray he finds a genuine faith in God and represents for, I don't know what it says. Apple, hey Apple says, you are a fat rat and I will expose what you did to Shalit. And then there is a video of him, and where's this actual video at? Did they not archive this? Apparently they're trying to say that he fucked somebody named Shalit. I want to see this video. Hold up, chat. I'm gonna try to pull up the thing real quick. Where's the actual video? Okay, let's see. Hold up. Cool Nuka on. The thing is, I really fucking hate. I despise Twitter. I despise. They do not let me view tweets unless I am signed in. And I cannot be signed in because I am not allowed to have an account. So I am being told that I have to have an account to view something that I'm not allowed to have an account on. And it is the fucking gayest thing ever. And I fucking hate Elon Musk. This guy's tweeted like a million fucking times because he's sucking that Nick Fuentes dick really hard. Where is the thing where he posted about Yoba? Is it deleted? Okay, here's a.
I'll be honest. I've said a bunch of edgy shit before. You know, I've gotten into a little bit of trouble here and there. And I said this when I got out of prison. I was like, damn, I really learned how to respect all different types of people. Because if you don't respect somebody, you're getting your ass beaten hard.
Oh, his Yoba video was taken down for violating their terms on private media. I don't know what that means. I'm really trying to figure out what the original clip is because they're accusing him of being a pedophile, basically. Him saying, "Imagine being this pathetic," and it's a clip of him and Ali talking. Here's a picture of Baked Alaska saying, "What's wrong, Groipercun? Could you be craving my McNuggies?" I don't think that has any relevance to the claims. And nobody archived this because they suck. What is the purpose of the site? Why do I go through the trouble of hosting this site Why do I go through the trouble of keeping this site up when you fuckers cannot even archive important videos? What is the meaning of it all? I'll read instead the back and forths between them. Nick Baked Alaska says, Nick Fuentes is such a gay man that he'll have a public Twitter fight before answering the phone like a man. Pick up the phone, Nick. What are you afraid of? Laughing, crying emoji. Apple says, waving the white flag already. I have nothing to say to you, rat. Your fat ass is getting exposed. I guess Apple is Nick Fuentes? Or I guess, maybe not. I don't know. Nick can only cry on Twitter like the homosexual he is. Lamau, why won't you debate Ethan Ralph? Need Leafy to sweep for you, Catboy. Apple says, pandering to Kiwi trannies who attacked you for years. You're such a low IQ dirtbag. I should have listened to everyone that told me to drop you for the last 6 years. If my account is still up, I'll be doing a space exposing what you did to Shalit earlier tonight. Rat. Big says, keep crying gay boy. You've been caught covering for pedos and now you're seething. Ethan Ralph 1. Yexba 1. You're the face of pedophilia now, Lamau. I guess that is Nick Fuentes. I find it incredibly gay that Nick Fuentes is just so desperate for like his social media presence. Even like his cozy shit is so fucking dead. He just has to put out these fucking gay Twitter accounts that are just in disguise because he keeps getting banned. And then he has to beg his followers to make new pedophile cunny accounts to like his tweets to help him ratio people. And that's like his life. He doesn't. That's the thing about Nick Fuentes. Like I fucking pity him. If I actually like, I pity him. I don't feel bad for him because he deserves it, but I really pity him because he doesn't do anything. He doesn't go out with anybody. He doesn't do anything. He has all this clout, but he just spends it online, desperately trying to find a Twitter account that won't get banned immediately, asking for the Cunny Squad to give him likes and shit on his gay ass tweets with his fights with ex-boyfriends left and right. And it's like his entire life is just fighting with ex-boyfriends while being called a pedophile because everyone that likes your tweets has suspicious lolicon and shotacon shit on their timelines. And your head honcho is a boy rapist. Like, that's his life. That's all he, even if he was completely innocent, he's never done anything. The people around him are so disgusting that he doesn't even want to hang out with them. When he sees them in public, he takes the pictures of his closest allies, puts them on Telegram and says, don't ever go public again because you're fat and slovenly and you disgust me and I hate you. And those are his words to his biggest fans that come out to see him in person. He says, you disgust me. Fuck you. And so he plays like Valorant, the most pause game ever created with Beardson, and that's it. The rest of his life is in hiding. He doesn't even like the people that are around him. He can't even stand them. And he gets in a gay public slap fight, says Apple008 on Twitter with Baked Alaska because he's craving those McNuggies. If I was Nick Fuentes, I would blow my fucking brains out. I don't think I could be able to like how do you unfuck your life as Nick Fuentes? There's no path forward. He's just a faggot, and he'll always be a faggot. And nobody can help him. He can't help himself. And it's just over. There are more back and forth. He's talking about the evil Kiwi trannies. That's actually the first. This is Nick Fuentes. I think this is the first time that he's ever publicly said the name Kiwi. I can't think of another time. He usually just pretends the forum doesn't exist because it pisses him off so much. But now, I guess he's cracking on that. Just remember when you call out pedophile Nick Fuentes, it will try to ruin your life, Lamau. And then Nick says, did we fall out because you called me out or because you were crying that I didn't introduce you to the celebrity? This is you calling me out, by the way. Lying rat. You are such a disgusting piece of shit and a disgrace. I think this is Bake says, Bleach asks, why are people saying Wooza knew? Bake says that was a meme, Lamau. Twitter Sucks says, the facts are so screwy. Yoba says, Wooza said he knew something happened between them, but didn't know the specifics. Yoba says, I didn't know anything happened at all. Me and Nick knew zero. And Percival says, Wooza is the one who linked up Milo with Smiley. So this is about the Ali Alexander molestation shit. And then Black Swan, who's another America First guy, says, I can testify that I saw Nick's first reaction to the info when Milo posted it. He had no idea about Smiley and Ali until he heard Smiley on that video Milo posted, same as the rest of us. Even if that's true, then why is Ali still in the organization? Why is he running Twitter accounts? Why is he still around? Like, he demonstrably is. He's in the shadows. Nick has kept him around for his loyalty, I guess. But why is Nick going to even bother to run this defense that he had no idea, when now that he clearly does know, he still keeps him around? Like, just say you knew the whole fucking time. Who gives a shit? Just say, like, if like literally just come, like, your audience is the most gullible retard people on the fucking planet. Nobody in America First is gonna be like, well, he knew about the boy getting sexually harassed by Ali Alexander, so I can't support him anymore. Like, literally just say, if the cost of America First succeeding is a couple young boys getting raped by Ali Alexander, that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Just say that. Just be honest. Why lie? Why lie and do the whole charade and say I didn't know, but then also keep them around anyways? Just lie and just tell the truth and say you don't give a fuck. If 1,000 boys have to get butt fucked by a pedophile Muslim, you know, for America First, for Nick Fuentes to be friends with Elon Musk and Kanye West, just say that. I don't get the big deal. Nobody cares. Nobody who's relevant to Nick Fuentes cares about this. Very bizarre. Why are we telling Nick to get rid of all Ali over and over again, except they had faggot sex together already? Oh, well, maybe that's the case. I don't know about that. Apple then puts him on the Star of David, despite having him in his organization for 6 years, and despite him saying that he's friends with some of the biggest Jews in the world, including Laura Loomer, who he cites as one of his best friends in the entire universe. Big says, sure, I'll have Ethan Ralph set up a space this week. And Nick says, nah, my space tonight or forget it. You'll be exposed either way, so it's up to you how to respond on the stream tonight. That is a literal line straight out of the Fed playbook. When they have you in that interrogation room and they're trying to get you not to walk out or lawyer up, they say, well, the evidence that we have, federal detective John Smith investigating this homicide, the evidence that we have is pretty incriminating right now, and we already can place you at certain spaces that make you look pretty bad, so we're definitely looking into you in this case. However, you know, you can leave right now, we can't detain you, but if you want to get your story out, this is the time to do it. We can help you if you're willing to tell us your side. And it's like, nah, Fed boy, nice try. They might have pulled that shit on you when they had you chained up and waterboarded after January 6th, but that shit right out of the what do they call it? I watch true crime. I should know this. What's the thing called? The protocol that they use to try and convince a suspect into giving up information and confessing. The what's the name for it? Name for police interrogation. Reed technique. The Reed technique. He's trying to employ the Reed technique by saying, this is your opportunity. This is your opportunity to set your name straight now. But I warned you, we already have all the evidence. All you can do is help yourself by speaking to us. Fed boy. That Nick Fuentes going to criminal justice school learning the Reed technique. I'm calling you out, motherfucker. I know. Bake says, my invitation still stands for Nick to debate me on the Kill Stream or any other show, but he's too much of a coward to do so, been dodging me for months. Don't let him fool you. Bake says, not going to go to your hug box, pre-screen space, Lamau, Ralph, or will host pussy. And then Nick also says, nah, get fucked. And by the way, if you're a God, he's like cry typing this. No, you're fucked. By the way, if you're alone with him, the Groypers will treat you like he's treated us since you're allies. Don't complain with moral high ground when that happens. And then he drops the bomb. He takes the mugshot picture of the man that he's been friends with for over 6 years, and he says that he is a pedophile. For what? Because of what happened with that guy? What's his name? Charlotte. What happened to Charlotte, which I don't know because the forum did not actually clip that. So I just want to point out that, let's say, and I don't know Yoba, I'm not a friend of his, I don't have any reason to defend him. But let's say, for the sake of argument, that Yoba is in fact a big dang dirty pedo because of what he allegedly did to someone named Charlotte. Isn't it curious, chat, that now that Baked Alaska no longer serves his purpose to der Purher, Nick Fuentes, that suddenly Nick Fuentes has issue with the terrible, evil things that Baked Alaska allegedly did to someone named Shallot. Isn't it shocking that Nick Fuentes, who had no idea about the things that Ali Alexander were doing, despite the fact that Ali Alexander is still involved in America First, until those came to light by Milo Yiannopoulos, now also suddenly knows about things that Baked Alaska, who he was friends with for 6 years, and apparently during the time that this happened, suddenly is able to drop the dirt on Baked Alaska as well. It's almost as if Nick Fuentes has realized that if he gets a bunch of horny men together, they will start and rationalizes like hunting for 16-year-old trad GFs, and he just gets them in a room together. They will immediately start doing illegal things that he can keep tabs on and keep as blackmail information, so that when the time comes to recover his own ass, he can start calling them pedophiles. It's kind of strange how it acts like that, how it pans out like that, chat. It's just the most fucking conniving shit ever. And then they wonder, why is it that our organization has no momentum? Why is it that people hate us? Why do all the serious people that could associate with our organization drop out? Why does the Kiwi Farms make fun of us? They cope and seethe and are like, this has to be like a conspiracy of Jewish trannies or some shit. And it's like, no, it's because you're a bunch of creepy weirdos who want to have sex with like 13-year-olds. You're obsessed with virginity and purity, and you do it under the guise of trying to save the white race, when really you're just creepy weirdos, and you keep dirt on each other like Milo Yiannopoulos does, who is one of the grossest fucking people in the sector, who's been around since Gamergate and has always been disgusting and skeeves me out. And Nick Fuentes just acts exactly like him. I hope that by now all the Lost Boys who are involved in America First have already left. I hope that all the people still involved are just like unsalvageable, and when they all get rounded up and executed by the government for their crimes, nobody worth a shit will be entangled in it, in the mess. I hope that they get out of it. If you're a Lost Boy and you're not a creepy weirdo, and you somehow hear this message, this is your sign. You've been looking for a sign that you're in a cult, a pedophile cult, and you got to get out. This is your sign. Get the fuck out. You can still get out. There's still time. Read that. Let's see, a bunch of followers. He's now rolled out an account named Tim GNA, which is in his name, called Baked Alaska as a pedophile with the same image. This guy says, you're a legitimate idiot. Bake found out and hit skip. Meanwhile, the entire clip you're crying about is lowering the age of consent. Pick someone smarter to reply. You don't cut it. It says the cope is nonsensical. Tim experienced sexual attraction to a child. Tim then made aggressive sexual advances upon a child. You cannot take that back. A pedophile can just say, never mind. Then no one will be a pedophile, especially not on camera. What is he talking about? I'm gonna yell at my chat again. Let's see. Doesn't look like anyone found it. It looks like my chat is still useless. Sad. Shameful. Ooh, 1,000 O's. Can't believe they filmed me. Does anyone have this? I would love to know what the fuck they're talking about. No, hold up. I'm extremely disappointed. I have several. There are 2 clips of that in the Baked Alaska thread. Okay, let's look. Where is this video? It's not on this page. There's one more page. Is it in this one? The data of the site is working very sneakily. There is no clip of this. This guy says that they're in the thread, but I don't see them. Let's see. Let's play this. This is 14 seconds. Won't be a waste of time either way.
Damn,
Damn, why not? She's 13. How old are you? No, that's a lie. Really? Come here. Let's go. Really? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. 6/18/04. Damn.
I mean,
damn, why not? She's 13. How old are you?
Why is there a 13-year-old at one of these? I don't know. Like she says she's 13, and then he immediately like walks away from her, as opposed to Zherka, who like continue to hit on those 13-year-olds. And then Zherka, of course, is welcome in America First. He's a member of it, and nobody calls him a pedophile. That's just okay. It's Kiwi Frames.pl right now. It's a little bit sus, I'm not gonna lie, but I mean, she is out in this fucking convention, which she has no business being in, to be honest with you. Where are the parents? Yeah, it's creepy, but I mean, the issue is like, okay, yes, if this was like a normal person, you can look at this and then say, yeah, it's a little bit creepy. The issue that America First has is that anything like this is put on blast in America First. You have those clips of Zherka outright saying that he's a pedophile that would fuck a 13-year-old because he's a Muslim Giga Chad. And then he's an active member of America First. He goes into their chat. He calls himself a pedophile, and they're all like, that's base. That's hella base. And then those same people then go on Twitter and they post lolicon and shit of like actual children, like obviously prepubescent children, and they just openly call themselves pedophiles. And I'm supposed to take that Nick Fuentes, who is surrounded by pedophiles, who openly employs Ali Alexander to this day to run the AF Post, a person who was caught and admitted to sexting underage boys because he is a gay Muslim pedophile. And then I'm supposed to take that Nick Fuentes posturing about Baked Alaska, hitting on a 13-year-old, getting that she's 13, and then walking away. And I'm supposed to like take his side on that. Like, absolutely not. I really fucking hate Nick Fuentes. I can't. It's one of those things. Right, I just have to sit and wait for the day that I see Nick Fuentes get eaten alive, because that day is going to come. There's a lot of days where I see people eat shit, and I know that, and I'm gratified by watching this in real time. I actually I skipped over something that I wanted to show, to be honest. Where is this? What's this link? This better not be a screamer. Oh God, how do I mute it? Can I mute this tab before it loads? Yes. Okay, mute tab. Then it doesn't load. Let me find this really. Oh, okay, I did find it. This is a longer clip. Why is this? It looks like the same clip, but it's a little bit longer. Why is it longer? Hold up, chat. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. Oh, Catbox is like fucking chugging right now. Oh, by the way, that Teddy Feezer guy. Oh man, I don't even know if I want to show this on screen. On the topic of America First and Teddy Feezer, who was like a Nick Fuentes sycophant, but he's not even like in America First yet. Like, he was watching some lolicon incest anime. He was like, "Oh, this is like super. This is why anime gets a bad rap right here. This is why it gets a bad rap." But then he's just watching the entire fucking thing, and he's like saying, "Yeah, lolicon, shotacon, incest. This is why anime. This is why anime gets its reputation." And he's just watching the whole fucking thing on stream. And that's that's America First. Okay, here's what I want to show. This was I somehow skipped over this. And then I'll play the whole thing with Baked Alaska, the 26-second clip, so the 14 one in a second. So Leafy, the fucking guy, published a new picture of himself, and he's fat. I guess he assumed that if he tried to grow out his facial hair and got a chin by getting a double chin, he would have more of a chin and people wouldn't bully him as much. But even Keffels, who is also fat, comes out and dabs on him. Leafy twink death is a sight to behold. Every millennial male who dressed like Leafy when they were a teenager is either a woman now or looks like they're a manager at a hardware store. And then Turkey Tom replied with this wonderful picture of Keffels to try and maybe compare what he's saying about Leafy with his own visage. And the comments are pretty funny. The comments that this guy clipped out are pretty funny. Actual goblin body, pure ghoulish bone frame. Oh, Jesus Christ. Nah, that's crazy, Lamau. It's the same photo. Mother of God, Leafy was playing both sides at the same time. Looks like the old dudes who show up early to metal concerts already drunk. Is this a dude? What the fuck? Yes. Julian posts a picture from a very familiar stream that I somewhat recognize of Keffals in proper dolphin mode, which is very impressive. Not many people can achieve dolphin mode. I think I even made a joke during the stream about how in that South Park episode with Randy Marsh becoming trans dolphin, it's like Keffals is transgender and also like a parody of trannies. It's trans dolphin. It's really remarkable how much fiction and reality collide now. First thing I thought when I saw this post is a common hunch. It's the common hunch Josh pointed out. Hello, you with the weird Japanese name Mikion. I see you, motherfucker. Bro turned into the Apple Store guy at Lamau. But the point of this is that Keffals got ratio. Turkey Tom tweets got 9,000 likes. This one only got 7,000. I like seeing Keffals get ratio. That was his entire life for years. Was just retweeting evil transphobes on the most curated gay dating site on the entire world, which is known as Twitter.com, now X, and saying, haha, ratioed, because anybody that would possibly like the other tweets already fucking banned for not willing to suck tranny dick, and then saying ratioed. And now in this day and age on X, as Keffals has fallen into obscurity as like a drug addict eunuch, he cannot ratio anymore, and even Turkey Tom can ratio him. Okay, listen. Here's the other clip of Baked Alaska. I'll play the entire thing now.
They said grab her by the pussy. Well, she's a cat, so no. I'm saying touch. No. That's equivalent, you know. Are you single? Yes. Can I get your number? No? Not together. Damn, why not? Yeah, she's 13. How old are you? 30. No, that's a lie. Really?
I probably should have asked that first before pulling the trump card on her. That's a bit of a fuck up, bro. But look how young Baked Alaska is in this. Nick Fuentes sat on this clip for literally 6 years, waiting for the day that he would have a purpose to turn this on him and call him a pedophile so that he could try to fuck up his whole life for daring to walk out of his cult. What a piece of shit. This is the fate of anybody associated with America First. Get used to it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to say anything. I'm smart enough to not say shit. I don't want to. I'm not even going there. He definitely should have asked first, though. This could be avoided, by the way. I'm just not randomly sexually harassing random women at conventions, which is how I live my life completely uncanceled. Oh, I'm canceled for many reasons, but nobody's ever accused me of sexually harassing them because I'm smart enough not to do that. I managed to dodge these bullets by not being in the firing line at all. I'm a real genius. I'm a savant. I'm ahead of my time. Learn from me, children. Learn from me, Turkey Tom. Don't become outed as a sex pest because you're in the firing range. You gotta stay out of it. Nobody's ever done a Josh Corr song of the We Love Our Cops, Our Law Enforcement, and I find this to be depressing. I feel like it could have been done by now. This would be the perfect time to play We Love Our Cops, Our Law Enforcement. It's sung by yours truly, but unfortunately does not exist, so such is life. Okay, I'm done. Actually, no, there's one more thing. I was going to play an outro song, but before I do that, I'll do the super chats and then I'll do my little non sequitur about music. I'll save that because then it doesn't make sense out of context. Let us put us into the green mode. We do the green mode. We do a little greening. Where's my green mode at? Okay, so now I'm going to be reading from 3 different sites. I'll do donation alerts first, even though I asked people to use Rumble this time. We'll see how that goes. Yes, I am still over 13 years old. Donation alerts, thank you very much. What's also scary about donation alerts is that I sign in with my Mad at the Internet YouTube account, which is banned. So I don't know if that's going to stop working at some point because it's a banned account. I'm not sure how that works. I didn't get the fuck off this though, which is unfortunate because I like that they tolerated me, but I asked them about like cryptocurrency payouts and they just said it's not possible, so I don't really have a choice. Pope Urban for 20 says reddit.com link to Alpha Chan. Let's see what this is. Hopefully this isn't annoying as fuck. Oh, I know. This isn't. People kept asking me to play this. I don't know why. It's like the most grating, annoying thing ever. This is proof that AI shit is about to be regulated to the fucking ground, by the way.
You will eat the bugs. Yum, yum. Adrenochrome so good. Population control. Jawohl, jawohl, jawohl. Thank you for your sacrifice. I despise you. Adrenochrome so good. Nouvelle order. Nouvelle.
Totally getting obliterated. This shit is going away very fast. The only misinformation allowed will be allowed by the government. Twinkie Tom for 5 says, hi Josh, for a safe work site you sure have a lot of people constantly talking about black dick and gay sex in most threads. Yes, I do. It's because most of the users on my site are American and they can't help it. Blame society. Schizo or Schizu for 550 says, hi Josh, love the stream. I asked you for career advice. I am now a professional DJ. I get great pay and my popularity is spreading fast. I have to prepare 2 times 3 2-hour sets. I had to do some 3 MC for creativity. Took too much and I had been awake for 48 hours straight making sick music. Love you. Fascinating. I don't remember ever recommending someone become a DJ and do drugs, but I'm glad that shit's working out for you. Good luck. Good luck with that, my boy. Randy Butternubs for 15 says, hi there, Josh. Thanks a boatload for accompanying me on my drive to work 5 days out of the week with the help of archives. Your video game streams are also the best ones to fall asleep to because there aren't ads playing every 10 minutes. Here's 15 big ones on me. Cheers. My dude, you got to figure out that ad block, man. I'm telling you, it's your moral, I'm telling you, bro, it's your moral prerogative to block ads every time, every second that you listen to an ad is literally the most greasy, pot-bellied goblin you've ever seen, taking a needle and threading it through the gray matter in your skull. Every second that you allow that to occur is them sowing your mind in their design. You must just total advertiser death is what I'm calling for right here, right now. Total and utter destruction of every form of advertising on the planet. Thank you, though. Rabies the Redneck for 5 says, my first PC build won't start, but the lights turn on. The CPU is okay. Praise God. I pray he grants me the insight to fix this. I'll post updates on my Kiwi Farms thread. Take my favorite Protestant song for Orthodox friends. It ain't enchant, but it's uplifting all the same. I will read out the name of it, but I'm not going to play it. I'm sorry. This video isn't available anymore, so I can't do that. I'm sorry. If the lights turn on, then that means that the motherboard is okay. It's probably a video issue. When my computer, I want to say it didn't turn on at all, and the reason why is the memory. For whatever reason, the memory is required for the motherboard to like even flash lights or anything. So might want to check that. I don't know how computers work. I lied. Okay, on Rumble, actually, let's do Odyssey first because they're shorter. For 10 says heart, 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 Jewish flag times 5, and then 3 more hearts. Thank you very much. I also love Israel. Rickenbacker for 10 says, I know it's a reach, but do you remember the name of a Russian song you played a long time ago that had a music video with an old man living in an old apartment with a lot of other people? Of course I remember that. Now that I said that, I'm not going to remember it. I know exactly what you're talking about. Is it Chelovik I Katusha, right? Chelovik I Koshka, not Katusha. By I'll put this on the screen because I know exactly what you're talking. By this guy. Yeah, hold up. He's not Russian, by the way. He's Ukrainian. Yeah, this is it. There's a better quality of this song, actually. Because his name is like... Yeah, this. Okay, here, I'll play a second of it. I love this song. It's one of my favorite Russian songs, so I will show it for you. Wait, what the fuck is this? This is the version by Grupa Nol, and this is not the version. This guy's name is like Sergey or something. And they took the video that he did, which was a great video, and they put the fucking the Grupa Nol version on it. Where the fuck is the original? I'm so pissed. You know, it's hard to find on YouTube is the issue. You might have to look on VK. I'm gonna find this right fucking now. I'm losing my fucking mind. VK.com. I remember I went on this hunt before. I couldn't find it on YouTube, and then I found it by searching it on Yandex. I'm pissed. I'm sneezing right now. Why can I not search this? Okay, Yandex, help me. It's by Sergey. No, that's Grupa Nol. I don't want that. Oh, here. Okay. Okay, you were on Odyssey. If I can find this. This is on OK, which is another Russian social media site. Yeah, this looks right. Play. Please, God, be right. His name is Sergey Garmash. And this is Cheloviki Koshko. Play this. And I'll post the link in the Odyssey chat in a second. Well, I love the song though. I do want to play a second of it. Growl into mic. It's very cute, and the original song is great too. All right, there you go. You sent me down my music rabbit hole. You got your money's worth, motherfucker. Sample text for 5 says, Josh, if you want to get into IP abolitionism, I'd recommend Libertarian ANCAP theory on the subject of Stefan Kinsalla's Against Intellectual Property or Baldwin Levine's Against Intellectual Monopoly. Both are free to read online and examine why IP is bullshit from a free market perspective. It is bullshit from a free market perspective. I don't need to be informed on that. But I'll reread that. That's Stefan Kinsalla's Against Intellectual Property and Baldwin Levine's Against Intellectual Monopoly, which are free to read online because it makes sense that they are. Finno-Hungarian Imperialist for 5 says, I completely forgot there was a stream today and just coincidentally went to watch a replay right as you started. Well, congratulations on making it, motherfucker. Cole for 5 says, Josh, Ralph's brother escaped from the asylum and is going by Mike. Please, I swear he looks like he's blood related. Okay, I'll play like a second of this.
Howdy, y'all. This here's Mike. Down at Mike's Golf Shop.
He does look a little bit related, doesn't he? Is he from Virginia? It doesn't say where he's from. You know, expect if you're trying to sell. Oh wait, here's Mike's Golf Shop. Let's see. Let's see if this is Virginia. Also doesn't have the address listed. Yeah, but you gotta like, oh, Chattanooga, Tennessee. Well, shit, man. I think if I do remember correctly, my boy Ethan Ralph is from a little city called Memphis 10. So I'm not sure how far Chattanooga is from Memphis, but I think it's a small state regardless. So there is a good chance that they're related. By the way, I've decided that if Ralph and I are on good terms, he'll be Ethan Ralph from Memphis, Tennessee. And if we're not on good terms, he'll be Ethan Ralph from West Memphis, Arkansas. This is how you'll be able to determine where we are currently aligned. That'll be my tell. There we go. There's Mike's. Thanks, brother. Neighbor for 5 says, most esteemed and venerable Kiwi Daimo, please set up crypto-based super chat so I'll never have to use this shitty ass site ever again and any Tengu owned payment processors. I know there's a guy that has like a Monero based one that I could set up by Luke Smith. I'll look into it. I know I keep saying that, but like, my dude, I am drowning in shit right now. There's literally 8,000 things I could be doing right now. I'm trying not to burden myself anymore. I really don't know like how many people would use Monero. If you're like a Monero person and you don't donate to the stream or don't super chat or whatever because you cannot donate in Monero, send me an email. Or if you and let me know. I'm curious to see if it's worth the time. Finno-Hungarian Imperialist for 5 says, any Konar board after 1983 can't compile. All they know is Soylent, charge their Amazon Alexa, groom kids on Discord, be pansexual and cut their dick, and act, which is a completely, totally factually based message. Thank you. Finno-Hungarian Imperialist for 5 also says, Josh Core is just an elaborate hoax to upload your real karaoke's without anyone making fun of you for it. I can tell Heaven Agila is an authentic Josh cover expressing your sincere love of Israel and his people. It could be. There's a very good chance that this is all an elaborate hoax to make it so I can publish my music without being ridiculed. Thank you. Sock Puckbet Sam for $20 says, frowny face, how are you going to reference Katrina without playing the Bush Hates Black People video? Well, I didn't want to go off on a huge diatribe about Katrina, but since you're paying me to, sure, let's watch an old, classic, vintage Kanye West clip.
The shape of the city has changed dramatically, tragically, and perhaps irreversibly. There's now over 25 feet of water where there was once city streets and thriving neighborhoods.
I hate the way they portray us in the media. If you see a black family, it says they're looting. See a white family, it says they're looking for food. And you know it's been 5 days because most of the people are black. And even for me to complain about, I would be a hypocrite because I've tried to turn away from the TV because it's too hard to watch. I've even been shopping before even giving a donation. So now I'm calling my business manager right now to see what is the biggest amount I can give, and just to imagine if I was down there, and those are my people down there. So anybody out there that wants to do anything that we can help with the setup, the way America is set up to help the poor, the black people, the less well off as slow as possible. I mean, this is Red Cross is doing everything they can. We already realize a lot of the people that could help are at war right now, fighting another way, and they've given them permission to go down and shoot us.
And subtle, but in even many ways more profoundly devastating, is the lasting damage to the survivors' will to rebuild and remain in the area. The destruction of the spirit of the people of southern Louisiana and Mississippi may end up being the most tragic loss of all.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Please call.
That look.
In the past few days.
What's really funny is that, God, there are so many... us millennials are gonna have to get together and archive all the funny shit that happened, like when the internet was too young to have viral memes. Katrina was a great source of memes. I'm already referenced, you're doing a heck of a job, Brownie, because after when the hurricane hit and the dams broke and New Orleans was flooded and shit, it was a fucking catastrophe. Like it destroyed the city, and people were really, really angry because the FEMA was slow to mobilize and get people help. Like basically criminals were running around, everything was being looted. It was a it's a hot piece of shit. And then of course Brownie, who was someone named Brown, I don't know if it was Brownie or Brown, but he was the FEMA director. George Bush comes down from DC to see the floods, meets with the FEMA director, and then on television says, "You're doing a heck of a job, Brownie," which was ironic because he was completely failing to get people the help they needed. And here's another spicy meme from Katrina is that remember a black woman on TV shouting, "Where's FEMA at with my trailer?" Because they were handing out these like trailers to people, and the trailers also were a gift that keep on giving because not only did they beg and demand free trailers from FEMA because their houses were flooded and they didn't have any insurance or anything, but when they got them, the trailers were made as cheaply as humanly possible because they're mass produced for emergencies. And then obviously you're supposed to get the fuck out of the trailer and start living in a real house eventually. That didn't happen. The black people just stayed up in the trailers. Well, the trailers were made to only last for a year or two, and they were made with asbestos. So a lot of people got mesothelioma from FEMA trailers that they demanded because they lived in them for longer than they should have, and they started to deteriorate. So it was a big fucking mess. Katrina was a disaster. And the emergency response was pitiful, and the human beings in that city were monsters during it. It was a actual catastrophe, and so many younglings won't understand the mirth of the 24-hour news cycle following Katrina, because it was hysterical. Thank you. Finno-Hungarian imperialist for 5 says, my grandfather was killed on Casual Friday in Treblinka, and the guard on duty was wearing a banana costume. I can't believe Fortnite would allow people to reenact the murder of my dear grandpa, who was only 4 years old at the time. It is tragic. It's really insensitive. As we know, the Schutzstaffel who staffed these terrible facilities often wore humiliating cosmetic items that Hitler allowed them to purchase with Reichsbucks. And then they would wear these ridiculous costumes as they guarded the camps, so that there would be a loss of morale due to the clown costumes that so many of them were wearing. It was really terrible. It's all documented in some of the very gripping tales that are in the Holocaust museums these days. Finno-Hungarian imperialist for 5 says, good work. Boss demands you to do the wagey dance to show your loyalty to the company and go to unwind. TV demands you do the consumer dance to show your loyalty to the company. Very true. There's no fucking way you could get me to dance. There's nothing that you could pay me to get me to dance for your amusement. I would leave. I don't care if I'm starving. I'm getting the fuck out of there. ANN did nothing wrong for 10 says, you mentioned before how tech censorship causes unlikely alliances to form. The Turf Fediverse instance Spencer.xyz was set up with the assistance of Gab employee at the time of B-Killer who was refusing to federate with Gab. I did not know that. Andrew Torba needs to repent for his crimes against the Kiwi farms and allow me to have my account. I did not know that though. Thank you. Eugene Greenbeard for 5 says, I recommend reading Henry Ford's International Jew if you haven't. Chapter 4 is a couple paragraphs on the origins of advertising, which are very illuminating. The section in question starts with the Jew, as the records for centuries show were a keen people in trade. Great show today. Thank you. For whatever reason, I was alerted that Martin Luther, the father of the Protestant Reformation, was virulently anti-Semitic. And I don't know how I managed to avoid this knowledge for so long. But thankfully, thanks to Wikipedia, I was able to learn that Martin Luther has written extensively about this topic, and they desperately tried to explain it as him being upset that he couldn't convert Jewish people, and then try to like say that it was like he lost his mind with age or something. Because in the early life of Martin Luther, he was very pro converting Jews, and then the end of his life, he was one of the most extreme anti-Semitics in world history. And it goes back and forth on if Martin Luther inspired Nazis or if the Nazis started using his writings after they took over, like post hoc. It was a very interesting Wikipedia article, but I haven't actually read the works. So never read such a thing. On Rumble, Ice Mexican pretends says Fuentes cries incessantly about how he's constantly deplatformed and censored, yet the Kiwi Farms is literally sneed and yeeted off the internet every time we come up, Aaron. I never see you crying. I am filled with absolute resolve, my friend. I know I'm in the right, and one day we will sneed, and we will seed, and we will feed, and we will probably never be given the credit that we are owed for our struggle. Haramburger, this is the only one you get. Says, I love the warning you put on Den's post that on the Maya the Wolf. Oh, fuck, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's not okay. I can't avoid this. I have to go back. We have to find this. Hold up. We're exiting the green mode. This is bonus content for everybody who sticks around for the super chat segment. Done up. Where is this? Is this in the Troon thread? Where is this? Okay, I think I found it. All right, so here's a little known fact. I have to be careful with how I talk about this. Years ago, there was a meme of a tranny or a dude standing on a pier, and he's being interviewed by the television, and he says, "On every way except physical, I am a wolf." This guy later became a tranny named Naya Wolf. Naya Wolf, for whatever reason, believes he is like a hacking god or something, and he's like in a relationship with another tranny. And they were working on deplatforming the Kiwi Farms. He wrote up one of the letters saying that we hosted child pornography and Animal Crush, which is factually incorrect, and was partly responsible for being engaged with Liz Fong Jones directly. At some point, they broke off, and Naya, or whatever I don't know what the fuck his name is, but the wolf is like, just obsessed with our Telegram for whatever reason, like really obsessed with the Telegram. I don't know what the fascination is. He posted his suicide note. I don't know if he's dead. I hope and pray that Naya Wolf is found okay, because I don't want to deal with the bullshit if he's dead. But he says, "Awoo, I am ending my life today. The reason for this are numerous and have to deal with the accumulation of intense pain that has built over the last several months. I am a terrible human being. And I managed to absolutely emotionally destroy the woman that I loved more than life itself, to the point where she views me as nothing more than an emotional parasite and liability. She is correct, and I am not writing this in order to extract any sympathy for me, as I deserve none, but instead so that my last wishes are executed faithfully and in accordance with what I want. I am a deeply flawed and broken human being, and I am done causing those I love to suffer, to fix myself, and imagine somehow ending up happy life, including them, when it feels to be impossible. If you are the person I regret hurting, know that this is my fault and not your own. As selfish as this may seem to say, the one thing you can do for me is to survive and try to live your best life. You are loved by me and many others. You are a wonderful person, and you gave your all for me, despite how broken I am." This is really gross, cringe manipulation, by the way. This is obviously designed to like try and make somebody feel bad. I know it's like saying the opposite, but that's the point. It's like, I'm totally not trying to make you feel bad for murdering me by not letting me suck your girl dick, but you murdered me, and I'm such a good person that I won't even dare say that you murdered me, you murderer. Don't feel bad. I cannot fault you for not being able to do it anymore. I love you, and I want nothing but the best for you. Regarding the circumstances of my death, I'll be making a best effort attempt to ensure my body is not discoverable by accident, so that I do not cause any additional inadvertent trauma to those I do not know. Federal and local authorities will be able to find it by locating my phone. Note to colleagues: a best effort attempt has been made to destroy all confidential and classified material prior to writing this message. Please consider seizure and secure disposal of my electronic devices to ensure proper destruction of information. There are a group of individuals that I have pre-arranged with to handle my final affairs. I ask that they follow the instructions below carefully. 1. All financial assets and property are to be split equally between my parents and Alexandra. Alexandra, I assume, is the other Troon. If he was really repentant, he would give it all to me. Number 2, all active criminal cases that I've been working on and have been notated on, I do not have a successor who can take over my work in this area. Please destroy any work products. I don't know what that means. I don't know what he does. My technical executor should follow the last copy of the pre-distributed digital legacy instructions given to them. And 4, please take care of my family and friends and try to give them the happiness I never did. I hope the next universe isn't as broken as this one. See you there. Naya Shiro Okamai, aka Rika Shadowwolf Furuda. Wow, what a hard-hitting writing, or whatever the fuck. I'm sure that he is very sincere and not just trying to get sympathy for the shit that he does. Very sincere. It felt very sincere to me, chat. That's, if I had to pick a word for that note I just read, sincere is the word that I come up with. Not to be confused with Sincere, the creepy weirdo who plays Too Much Fallout 76 and tweets about the Kiwi Farms approximately 100 times a day, every day, because that is his entire life. But sincere as in the actual dictionary definition of sincerity. Now we're back to chill mode, chat. Noel Swa for two says, howdy Josh, I am looking to buy silver. What are some reputable places to purchase? I don't fucking know because I don't know what country you're in. I don't know what websites there are reputable. So I don't even know where I would suggest you look, to be honest with you. Just do your own research. Maybe ask the silver bugs on Wall Street Silver on Reddit if you have a Reddit account. Rad Crab for 10 says, your rant on the decay of society and leaving the future to the incompetent young reminds me of the film Brazil, the thinking man's idiocracy. I've never heard of the film Brazil, but we all know how terrible Brazil is, so it might be worth a watch. Foxshiz for 10 says, would you recommend then learning from these still living fossils in tech? If you can get an old guy in tech to like teach you about how computers actually work, like if you're in, a comp sci class and your professor is like an actual veteran of the industry, he's like 60 years old and remembers shit back in the 80s and, using floppy disk and was working with like old systems like that, he's definitely worth making friends with. Like those people have actual power in the industry. It's, they know people. They know some of the most important people in the field. One of my biggest detriments to who I am is that I didn't go to school in like I didn't go to like a reputable like comp sci school or like Virginia Tech or any of the other ones. So I don't know anybody in the industry really. I have to like rip and tear my way to anything that I want. I don't have any help. Twinkle Tard for $100 has found his way over to Rumble. He says, butthole ears. I have not a fucking clue what butthole ears means, but thank you very much. I hope that whatever I'm saying is not a bad thing. Giga Cake for 5 says, today's 8 out of 8. It's Vor Day. Give us your best burp. Why is 8 out of 8? Oh, because of the word 8. Oh my God. Dude, Vorophiles are fucking weird. They're the weirdest fucking people on the planet. If you meet somebody and they say they're into Vor, run. If you learn nothing else from me, stay away from Vorophiles. Just get the fuck out. Foxes for 5 says, I'm not giving you a burp, fuck off. Foxes for 5 says, they be null bites, you faggot. Okay. Thank you. Romberger for 1 says, no one else, but that pepper made from the national today. No, it doesn't. Less than 30% pigeon chunks per water. Thank you, Romberger. Romberger for 1 says, the podcast brought to you by Miller Lights and Miller Time for Miller Draft. 6% alcohol. Drink responsibly. Thank you, I'm Romberger. Romberger for 1 says, today's podcast brought to you by BetterHelp. 6 million. Thank you, Romberger. Zemeckis for 2 says, thanks again for the stream, Josh. Grab yourself $2 of high fructose corn syrup on me. Don't even think they import that over here. Pico says copyright should work like how it works classical music, where anyone can make a cover, but your own specific cover, so Netflix can copy and paste your recording, but they can easily make their own. I mean, that's how it works for certain things and fair use. I mean, it is a question of like, how for really large investments like movies, how do you secure the movie? But I mean, movie theaters do a great job of that already. If you just release to a movie theater, or to specific streaming platforms get ripped. But with movie theaters, you have like a basic guarantee. Most people who want to go watch a film are not going to settle for a screen recording. They're going to want to see the film in person in a high quality as it's meant to be seen. So like with films, just by having that release date being, limited to audiences, you're basically guaranteeing that you're going to get some money that way. Holy hell for 3. And if the main issues that movie producers have today is that movies are shit. Unless you can like force people to pay money based, to see something, they're not going to really. Because why the fuck would you want to support Disney? If movies were good again, people would probably pay to see them. Just a thought. Holy hell for 3 says, keep up the good work, Josh. You are my nibba. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Rabbi's the Redneck for 2 says, the song Grace Alone by the Sunday 7 p.m. Choir. The song is Grace Alone by the Sunday 7 p.m. Choir. If you want I think it's one of those Orthodox chants. Thank you. And let me double check that I didn't miss anything. Kali Yuga Writer for 5 says, Josh, you're wrong about South Africa. It wasn't empty. Bantus didn't settle the Cape when the Dutch came, but they were indigenous Khoisan hunters who then became mixed-race coloreds. Bantus settled the area and the rest of SA, stretching from Port Elizabeth to the east and the Namib border in the desert. I was told that there was some people there, which is, I think there are certain areas where there was literally no one. There was certain spots that nobody settled. I think that might be in Namibia though, and not actually in South Africa. But I was fact checked about that. It's like, it's I don't know. It was just a shitty part of the world until white people got there though. And Randy Butternubs for 15 says, also, I want to throw my hat into the ring with the propaganda unit of your total retard war initiative. Sir, I already posted a clip to pick up. I was curious, do you have any specific 2 to 5 minute clips from the podcast you think that would lend themselves well to a short feature animation? A thing from the podcast to animate? No. I can't think of anything to animate. I don't really go off on huge tangents about anything. I remember very fondly the Baby Dungeon clip from that one video game where I just stop playing the game and start laughing at it for a while. I can't think of any specific thing that would be fun to animate though. I know what you're talking about though, because I know they animate those Oni Play things. That would be funny. I really can't think of anything off the top of my head. Maybe someone in chat can contribute a thought, but I can't. Or the Mad at the Internet thread, probably someone will come up with something worth animating. But off the top of my head, no, I can't. And I think that will be it. Okay. So here is my, once again, we're leaving chill mode. I have a little, don't tip anymore, please, because I'm going to move on. I was going to debating what to play for my outro. And I was considering playing, I follow Rome. Rome is very famous for that song, One Fire, about Rhodesia. This song, they released a song that was very pro-Ukraine called Yellow and Blue. Or Blue and Yellow, and it's about it's a pretty decent song, but it's like explicitly Ukrainian. And my issue with Rome is a very good band. They're from Luxembourg or Luxembourg, if you're Luxembourgish. They're like alt folk, I think is what they're described as, and they kind of sound a little bit fashy, but I don't think the guys are fashy at all. It's just how they get a reputation to do their songs about Rhodesia. But my issue with them is that their songs are very samey. It's just the same guy's vocals and like a guitar and kind of like a long melodramatic song being told. And so they released a song about the Ukrainian war, and it's very repetitive and very samey. So I didn't play it. I did listen to it. It's okay. But then I saw they recently, like on April or August 2nd, had put out another song, 2 songs actually, called Our Lady of the Legion. And I think it's Das Feuer Odal, or the Fire Lord is what it's called in English. I looked it up. And these are 2 new songs, and they're both pretty good. I'll play like a minute of it, or a few seconds.
Where does Europa end? Who goes there for a friend in my holy lands?
Pretty decent. Oh, he's an anarchist. Okay, whatever. But what's weird about calling him an anarchist is that his last song was Yellow and Blue. And he changed his thing. He used that same logo. I don't know if that's like it has the Ukrainian pitchfork on it, the trident. It has the trident on it, which is like the symbol of Ukraine. He plays it on yellow and blue. But if you don't know, that color, red and black, is the flag of the Banderists. When Bandera was trying to set up a Nazi collaborationist movement in Ukraine during World War II as a way of fighting off the Soviets, because the Ukrainians were afraid of, they hated the Russians by that point. They were afraid of communism. So they were trying to get rid of the Russians. And Bandera tried to fight off the Soviets by allying with the Nazis. The Nazis didn't trust him, so they ultimately never set up a proper collaborationist government with Ukraine until very late into the war where it didn't matter. But the flag of the insurgent army was red and black. Which is like a remix of the blue and yellow. Instead of it being a wheat field in the sky, it's the black fertile soil that the wheat fields grow on, and then the blood that was used to defend it. That's what that represents. But it's very strange. I am forced to assume that's deliberate. It's kind of upside down, but it's so strange that he would pick those colors for his Ukrainian album and then have it be the same colors as the Banderas, which it was explicitly neo-Nazi, or not neo-Nazi, but not neo-Nazi. Literally, they were a collaborationist government with the Nazis in World War II. But it's flown around by ultra-nationalists today. So it's kind of lost its edge a little bit because it's like an accepted symbol. Because Bandera in contemporary times is seen as less of a Nazi collaborationist and more of an anti-Soviet figure. So anti-Russian, anti-Soviet, and that's why it has lost its edge as like a Nazi thing. But it is strange. It is strange. Anyways. That's that. I have a different song that I want to play. This one's actually a lot better. This one comes from the heart. It's one of the greatest songs ever made. It's called hold up. Oh, it's called Boulevard of Broken Dreams. See you on Friday. Bye-bye.
I walk a lonely road, the only one that I have ever known. Don't know where it goes, but it's only me and I walk alone. I walk this empty street on the boulevard of broken dreams, where the city sleeps and I'm the only one and I walk alone. I walk alone, I walk alone. I walk alone, I walk up. My shadow's only one that walks beside me. My shallow heart's the only thing that's beating. Sometimes I wish someone out there will find me. Till then I walk alone. Somewhere in my mind, on the borderline of the edge, and where I walk alone. Read between the lines, what's up and everything's alright. Check my vital signs to know I'm still alive, and I walk alone. I walk alone, I walk alone. I walk alone, I walk up. My shadow's only one that walks beside me. My shallow heart's the only thing that's beating. Sometimes I wish someone up there will find me. Till then I walk alone. Empty street on the boulevard of broken dreams, where the city sleeps and I'm the only one, and I walk up. My shadow's only one that walks beside me. My shallow heart's the only thing that's beating. Sometimes I wish someone up there